Hi guys, welcome. My name is Heather Jones and I'm the #1 intuitive teacher in the world, and I teach you the 7 keys for absolutely free. You guys, these keys will unlock all truth. Now the truth is that
So
you
what
have
has
been
been
lied
your
to.
worst DIY fail?
The truth is that you have been lied to. You see, we have been born with a gift, and that is our gift of intuition. And they knew that if they could silence that one gift, if they could silence our intuition, that they knew that we would doubt ourselves and we wouldn't be able to heal ourselves. And so you guys, when you have the 7 keys, you start trusting your intuition, you can unlock your pain in seconds. So a lot of you guys are dealing with chronic pain, chronic fatigue. You're tired, you're overwhelmed, and you don't know why. You go to the doctors and they run labs and they say nothing's wrong with you because what you're dealing with is actually spiritual. And I have worked with hundreds of people across the entire globe, and I can tell you that most everything that we uncover is spiritual. Now, what do I mean by spiritual? It's usually a trapped emotion, it's generational trauma, right? It could be actual demonic entities, unclean spirits. So tonight we are going to go through the 7 keys for free. Hi, welcome in, you guys. So grab a pen and paper because I, as I know it, am the only one that teaches these keys for absolutely free, right? So I do have a $27 guide, right? That goes really deep into the 7 keys. Teaches you the exact system that I use, that I was taught in Germany, how to test yes or no. But you guys, the truth is at the end of the day, you know exactly what is wrong with you, okay? Your body knows exactly how to heal itself, but you've been lied to. You taught to second guess yourself. You were taught to doubt your intuition. And you guys, they knew that, okay? They knew if they can get us to silence our truth, that they would have control, and they do. Our system is made to profit off of sick people. Okay? If people knew that they could heal themselves and they can do exactly what was wrong with a 99.9% accuracy, what would happen to the matrix, right? It would destroy. It would collapse on itself. Oops, I'm having a water bottle leakage. Sorry guys, hold on. Got water all over my desk. Better drink it before it's gone. Okay, so if you guys want to learn how to take back control of your life, you want to learn the 7 keys, and you want to learn the easiest system in the entire world, how to get a yes or no so that you can know exactly what is wrong with you guys, then follow along because I teach you the 7 keys for free. And you guys, key number one is that your body speaks to you through pain. Okay? Pain is just the secret language of the body. Pain is just your body telling you that there's something wrong here. Now, what we have been taught to do is to silence our pain, okay? We have been taught to run to the kitchen as fast as you possibly can to grab a painkiller. And the truth is that when you do that, you are silencing the messenger, okay? So when I teach people how to do this, I teach them that pain is just the messenger. As soon as the messenger tells you what is wrong, okay, you know exactly what's wrong. The messenger leaves and the pain usually goes with it in seconds. But the problem that we have today is we've been silencing our messenger for so long, and the messenger doesn't go away. The messenger just gets louder and louder and louder until it is having a full-blown tantrum and you're dealing with cancer, Hashimoto's, autoimmune disorder, you name it, okay? So I am here to tell you that your body knows, okay? You have been given a gift of discernment. When you learn how to get your yes and no, and you learn the 7 keys, okay? Everything is in the 7 keys. Everything. The 7 keys just help you get to the root cause quicker in seconds, right? So I've worked with doctors, I work with nurses, I work with people who have their own practices. I teach them these keys so that they can get to the root cause of their patients in seconds as well. But you guys, here's the truth. You don't have to be a doctor or a nurse, right, to be able to know what's going on with your body, okay? That is the lie. We have to stop outsourcing the gift that God gave us to know exactly what's wrong with us. So key number 1 is your body knows exactly what's wrong, okay? You have a secret messenger, and that is pain, okay? Pain is just the SOS, the help signal your body's trying to say, okay? We need help here. So let's not silence our messenger. Let's ask our messenger what the messenger needs to share so that we can let go of the pain. Thank you, Vibe. Oh yeah, the body keeps the score. I have not personally read that, but I know that everything in that book is 99% true. Okay? If it's teaching you that the body keeps the score, it absolutely does. So what happens is, okay, when we go through the keys, I'm going to teach you about emotional trauma. Okay? So key number 2, you guys, I give you the 7 keys for free. Hey, Jen. Welcome, friend. Hey, Lisa Wolf. Welcome, Queen. How's your cough doing, honey? So you guys, every day I come on here and I teach the keys for free. Why? Because I spent the last 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications to learn a whole bunch of things I didn't need. Okay? Thanks, Raina. But the truth is that each one of those things that I've learned, each one of my certifications, right, gave me a key. And so I realized that all you need are these 7 keys and your intuition, your yes and no, how to get answers instantly, how to get to the root cause of your problem instantly. You guys, the problem with painkillers is painkillers silences your truth. When you silence your truth, okay, you're actually silencing the messenger. The messenger is what's here to set you free. Okay, key number 2. You're doing it right, Lisa. You just got to trust that your body it takes time to integrate, right? So we worked with Lisa a little bit and she's been having a lot of physical problems. There is such thing as integration too. So some things take a little bit longer to clear. So you guys, key number 2 is it could be physical. If it's physical, it's either going to fall under a parasite, a toxin, or a nutrient deficiency. Okay? It could be all 3, but your body will tell you first which one and then exactly how to clear that with the food or the supplement or the emotion that needs to be released. It could be a toxin. Okay? Your body will tell you exactly which toxin. So you guys, in my $27 guide, okay, I have all the charts. So if it's key number 2 and it's a toxin, a parasite, or nutrient deficiency, right, we want to know which one. So we have all the toxins, right? We have all the major toxins. Your body will tell you which one. And then your body will tell you the deficiency. And then all you have to do is ask your body, your intuition, okay, does my body want the food or the supplement? Your body will tell you. You guys, we are not playing a needle in a haystack. You don't have to play with a needle in a haystack, okay? Parasites are overrated. Yes, I agree that a lot of people are out there doing parasite cleanses and they don't need to, okay? Why are you going to do a parasite cleanse if that's not what your body needs, okay? You're going to ask. You're going to ask your body, do I need a parasite cleanse? Do I need a detox? A lot of you guys are wasting hundreds of dollars on supplements, detoxes, cleanses that aren't even going to get to the root cause of your problem. Because the truth is that all that weight, all the tiredness, all the fatigue, the cancer, the fibromyalgia, the arthritis, right? It could be spiritual. It could be trapped emotion. It could be generational trauma, okay? And you're doing things physically to deal with a spiritual issue, okay? What do I mean by spiritual? I mean that no labs are going to tell you what's wrong with you, okay? No lab is going to tell you that you are dealing with an emotional trauma that's stuck in your body that's literally causing you to have physical chronic pain. You guys, these are the things that people are now awakening up to, okay? So key number 2, it could be physical. Yay, Gypsy Rose, cowgirl. So we're going through the 7 keys, you guys. Make sure you're following me and make sure you share, okay? Because I don't want you to lose me because I teach you every single day, mostly every day, okay? I teach you the keys and how to use them, okay? Repetition is key. Why do you want to follow me? Because I give you the keys for free. You don't need all the certifications like I did. You don't need 10 years and you don't need $15,000 plus to learn this information. I feel like I have a fluffy in my eye, okay? So key number 3, you guys, we're going through the key rec. Key number 3, emotional trauma, okay? Someone said parasites are, right? Too many people are hung up on parasites. I get it, okay? But if you have an emotional trauma, what do I mean by emotional trauma? If you have ever been, thank you, Evelyn. If you have ever been sexually abused, physically abused, emotionally abused, religiously or spiritually abused, okay? Which I know 1 in 4 women on my live have, okay? If you have ever been abused and you have not gone back to that little girl or that little boy and told him the truth about that trauma that you experienced, okay? That little girl is still broken and alone. So you are now a grown adult and you're having these physical symptoms in your body. Weight gain, headaches, migraines, sickness, eczema, acne, psoriasis. Your body's literally trying to purge out the pain you experienced. But we have been taught what? We have been taught to silence our truth, to push it down, okay? And here's the truth. When you were 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, anywhere from 0 to 25, and you experienced sexual trauma, You experienced physical trauma. You experienced emotional, spiritual, or religious trauma. You did not have the mental capacity to tell yourself the truth about what you experienced. So now we're adults and we have the capacity to go back in time and tell that little girl and that little boy the truth. That what happened to you was not your fault. That what happened to you, you were a little girl. You shouldn't carry any shame or blame or guilt. Okay? And a lot of us, we silence our truth because it involves family members. And if we share our truth, right, we put certain family members in the wrong light. And so a lot of us are taught to silence our truth to protect our abusers, but not today. Okay? When you do that, every time you silence your truth, every time you silence your truth about your abuse and the trauma that you experienced, you put out a part of your light. Thank you, Sarah. You put out some of your light. And every time you put out your light, that is hiding your light under a bushel, by the way. And if you put a light under a bushel soon enough or long enough, you will actually literally put your light out. You will put your light out, which means you will be done. And I literally work with people who are on the brink, on their deathbed, and they share these things. And you know what they share with me? When they were children, what happened to them? They experienced sexual trauma or some type of physical trauma. And they're still holding on to that. Because here's the truth. If you are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and you have never done this technique where you literally see that little person and you tell them the truth, okay? I had to go back and tell my 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7-year-old self the truth about my physical trauma, about my sexual trauma, okay? And she needed to hear that from me, okay? So we're going through the 7 keys. We're going through key number 3. You guys, thank you so much for liking and sharing and following me, okay? When you share my live, it shares these keys with people that desperately need these keys, because there are people literally on their deathbed because they are holding on to emotional traumas. They're holding on to belief systems that are just not true, right? And they're literally killing them. The emotional traumas are literally putting their light out because they don't know how to release it, because we are taught to silence our truth and to take a painkiller, okay? So let's go with the next key. You guys, the next key is generational trauma. So they have proven through epigenetics that parents multiple generations back can pass down through our DNA, through our epigenetics, fears, phobias, sicknesses, and disease, okay? How do you tell yourself? Well, you need to get connected to your intuition, your yes or no, okay? You have to learn how to get your yes and your no. And I teach you, you guys, I have a $27 guide that teaches you the exact same system that I learned in Germany called Innerwise. It is the fastest, easiest system, okay? Because I did them all. I got certified in kinesiology and I just couldn't figure it out. So it's so easy, my kids can do it, okay? My 7-year-old uses the same system that I use. So when you get your yes and no, let's say you have a sickness or a headache or a money block or a bad relationship, you're going to say, which key is going to unlock my truth? We already know key number 1 is your body speaks to you. Yes, pain is a secret messenger, but it doesn't mean you have to be in pain to test if there's something wrong. Yeah, a lot of us were conditioned to please and befriend kids. Oh, yeah. Lots of conditioning from parents, right? So lots of generational trauma. Fears, phobias, sicknesses, and diseases. So what does that look like? So I had a father and a mother who did the best they could, right? My dad grew up in extreme conditions, poverty. His dad was an alcoholic. His dad was physically abusive. His dad also came back broken from the war. And so when I look at generational trauma, you guys, I don't personally blame my abusers because I recognize that my abusers were very broken people. Okay, broken people hurt people. That doesn't mean that they get to go freely, right? So I love my mom and I love my dad, but I also recognize the trauma that they had in my life. So you can love someone unconditionally, but still respect yourself enough to set boundaries and to know that some people are toxic. So I had a dad that was very physically abusive, and I had a mother who in her childhood was sexually abused. And so she had belief systems. My dad had belief systems. I incorporated their belief systems. And so as a child, I experienced physical and sexual abuse. Okay? So you might be dealing with some type of trauma, actually, some emotional beliefs that are not even yours. You could have fears, you could have phobias, you can have sicknesses, you can have diseases that were passed down generationally from your mom and your dad. But how do you know? Because you're sure of a hell not going to know from a doctor who's going to run your labs and he's going to say, hey, everything's fine. Just go take a painkiller. Go take a nap. And you're going to go home with chronic pain and nobody to tell you why. And it could be generational. How do you know? You have to get your yes and no. You have to start listening to your intuition. I teach you my $27 guide, exactly the system that I used, right? That I spent over $10,000, $15,000 in over 10 years learning. Okay, so this is how I do it. I say, thank you, pain, for speaking to me. Are you physical? Are you emotional? Are you generational? Now we're going to go to the next key. Absorbed energy. So let me just block this spot real quick. So you guys, who in here are my empaths? Who in here feels energy immensely? You can walk into a room. You can cut the energy with a knife. Okay. Lainey, see you. Ugh, yeah. Yeah, if you think you are, you are. Okay? Yeah, absolutely exhausting. I do Evelyn, Jewette, Pamela, Sunshine, Miss Q. Yeah, so for all you empaths, a lot of you empaths, you're empathic because of your traumas. Okay, I hate to say that, but a lot of us developed these gifts of empathy because we understand. We also know we're super heightened aware of emotions, because we had to be aware of emotions when we were little, because we needed to know if we were about to get yelled at or spanked, right? Or ran through one. Okay, so a lot of us are super heightened and senses are heightened. Yeah, I read everything. I could read people's energy, right? You know when people are thinking bad things about you, right? So I'm going to teach you guys a story or teach you a lesson on quantum entanglement. Yeah. So you guys, quantum entanglement is, we all know we're energy, right? We are all energy. God said, let there be light, there was light. We are all energy. A microscope, if it looks down deep into our cell, by the time it gets to the microscopic, right, we're going in and out of existence. So we're all energy. So what happens is you can actually go into a room and we're all energetically bouncing off of each other, right? That's how you can feel when people are faking it, right? Or you could feel toxic people. Well, what happens is after about 20 minutes of our energies bouncing off of each other, they actually connect, okay? And they balance. So we're literally energetically connected to the people in the same room with us, about 20 minutes. But what happens to us empaths, okay, is when we leave, we take some of their energy with us. And you wonder why you're exhausted, and you wonder why you got a headache out of nowhere, or you wonder why you got a sharp pain in your back, right? It's because you may have absorbed somebody's energy. How do you know, right? How do I know? If I start feeling pain, I ask, what are you? Are you physical, emotional, generational, or absorbed? If I get that what I'm feeling is absorbed energy, I clear it. I say, I command this energy that's not mine to leave my body now. And you guys, within literal seconds, that pain is gone. But the problem is you guys have been doing this for most of your entire lives, and you wonder why you're exhausted. Because you could literally have hundreds of absorbed energies trapped in your body that are not even yours. How do I know this? Because I've literally worked with hundreds of people across the entire globe, and they will have debilitating 10-10 pain, and we clear one absorbed energy. One. That's it. And they go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 pain in literal seconds. So if you guys want to learn exactly how I do this, I have a $27 guide. I will be doing one-on-ones at 9:30. I will be doing one-on-ones at 9:30 to show you exactly how I use these keys. And I will prove to you, just like I do every night, people will go from immense pain down to a 0 pain, okay? Or pretty close. So you guys, we're still going through the 7 keys. It's very, very important that you do not take my word for anything I say. In fact, don't take anyone's word for anything. You have something inside of here called your intuition. It is your gift. It never lies. It always tells the truth. And doctors and scientists have proven that our bodies are literal instruments that can test anything with a 99.9% accuracy. So why doesn't everybody know that? Because if we knew we were instruments and we knew that if we could ask a question and get the answer with a 99.9% correctness, right? Why would we need a healthcare system, right? Other than the fact that we know what's wrong with us and we say, hey, we need this herbal medicine or this food to heal our bodies. And that is truth. So I teach the 7 keys because when you have your intuition, your yes and your no, and you have the 7 keys, you can literally get to the root cause of your problem in literal seconds, okay? And so that's why I teach the keys. Hello again. So I am in Utah. Where are you guys at? Where's everyone watching in from? So hey everybody, we're going through the 7 keys. Okay, we've already gone through the first few. We're going on to the next one, which is my favorite key. Amarillo, Texas, New York, Antigua, Chile, Romania, Haya, Minnesota, Wisconsin, New Mexico, Houston. Hey guys. So originally UK. Okay, Southern California, that's where I'm originally from too. Austria, Michigan. Look at all you guys all around the world. That's why I love TikTok, right? Because you can share your message with people all around the world. Ohio, Cleveland. So you guys, we're going to go through the next key, okay? This is my absolute favorite key. It's the spiritual key, okay? It's the spiritual key. Hey, Florida. I want to move to Florida. I told my husband it's time to move to Florida. Jamaica. Look at all you guys. I love that you guys are sharing. So you guys, we're going to go to the next key, okay? We're going through all 7. The next key is the spiritual key. So when I was a little girl, I think it was from 3 to 7 years old, I experienced demonic entities. So I saw them with my own eyes. I had sleep paralysis. I had extreme night terrors. Oh, Rihanna, we'll talk about that. So I had extreme night terrors. I was so terrified as a little girl to go to bed because I didn't know what kind of nightmares I had and I didn't know what I would wake up seeing with my own eyes. So here's the truth, you guys. I was a little girl. I was not possessed by Satan. I was not a lower vibrational being, okay? And I knew what I was seeing, okay? The veil was thin for me. Now, remember I talked about generational trauma. So my parents, right, they were fighting a lot. There was a lot of chaos in my home, okay? My mom was kind of living a double life. So there was a lot of toxic energy in my home. I was a little girl. I didn't understand the power that I had. I didn't know that I can cast demonic entities out of my room. So when I talk about the spiritual key, I talk about actual demonic entities because I saw them with my own eyes. Now, there are people who do not believe in them. They never experience them. But maybe you feel pain out of nowhere, right? So the 7 keys will still work with you because if you test spiritual and you test the not good, okay, you have the power to clear it. So when I would go to church and I would read scriptures and I would learn or read that Jesus cast demonic entities out of people and into swine. And when I would read scriptures, when he talked about, teaching Peter, James, and John how to cast some demonic entities needed fasting and prayer, I knew that he wasn't talking in parable. I knew he was talking literal because of my experiences as a child. And then I also had experiences where I was gaslit for over a decade with chronic migraines. So I personally dealt with chronic migraines for over a decade. That was having 2 to 3 migraines every week from the age of 21 to 32. You guys, I did not know that you could be attacked by spiritual entities and they could literally cause you physical pain. So I went to the doctors when I was 21 because I was experiencing horrific migraines. But I didn't know that. I thought I was dying of a tumor. How many of you guys have migraines in here, right? Or chronic headaches for a long time? So I went to a doctor. They prescribed me to a specialist. The specialist said, oh, all your labs are clear. You're just having migraines. It's normal. You guys, migraines are not normal. In fact, any pain that you're experiencing in your body right now, it is not normal. It is your body telling you that there is something wrong. And we are silencing our truth with painkillers. So I'm 32 years old. I'm at a place where I cannot get to my prescription medication, which was Imitrex. Okay. I knew I was about to go to the emergency room. Okay. I couldn't get to my medication. So I reached out to a friend who practices the same with me, holistic medicine, right? knows intuitive testing. And so I asked her, can you test for me? And so she tested, and she said, Heather, you're being attacked by legions of demonic entities. And in that moment, I felt a chill go up my spine. And I knew that she was speaking truth. And so I went into the bathroom and I held my hand to the square and I cast out. In the name of Jesus, okay? There's millions of ways you can cast out, but that's the only thing I knew what to do. And for the first time in over a decade, I did not have a migraine without having my medication. So that was proof to me, and that is all the proof that I needed, that you can literally experience physical pain. That's spiritual. It is spiritual warfare. It is fiery darts of the adversary. It is curses. It is hexes, okay? If you don't think the Illuminati is real or all these things are fake, you guys, it is so real. And I even post this. The scariest thing, right? The scariest thing is not that these dark things exist. The most scariest thing is that you do not know or trust your own intuition. Okay, that is what's absolutely terrifying to me. And I work with hundreds of women, men across the entire continent. It is universal. People do not trust their intuition. People do not trust their intuition. And they knew, our system knew, if we can get them to doubt their intuition the day they're born, we will win. And this is what it looks like. You guys, I grew up in the same system. So I had little kids. Guess what? The first thing I would do if my kid had a headache or a stomach ache or any type of pain, I would run to my cabinet and grab a painkiller, because that is what I was programmed to do, until I realized that my kids' bodies were speaking. So just 2 weeks ago, my son woke up with and he just threw up in the living room, right? He just woke up, threw up. And so my husband said, hey, our son just threw up in the bathroom. And so I, instead of running to the painkiller medications, right, I tested, why did he throw up? Does he have something physically going on? Does he have something emotional? Does he have something generational? Does he have something spiritual? He had something absorbed. He had absorbed mine and my husband's energy that morning, because it was kind of a heated conversation. Every married couple knows, right? And so my son's body knew what to do. This is not my energy, and he threw it up. Do you guys realize that children naturally, instinctively know what to do when they're in pain, right? When they don't feel good, when they need to go to the bathroom. And when you're born, we're taught to listen to your parents, shut up, listen, be quiet, I'm the boss. Then you go into a public school system where the teachers, again, gaslight you and your intuition. Shut up. You can't go to the bathroom till break time. If you're sick, you go to the nurse's station. Then you're made to feel guilty like you're lying, right? So we're gaslit again. We're taught how to mask our emotions through school. And then we have coaches. And then we have spiritual teachers, right? In our churches, we have pastors, we have bishops, church leaders who then also, maybe not intuitively, but they gaslight our own divine intuition when we know something's not right, okay? And this is why it is so important that you learn these 7 keys, okay? So if you have not already, make sure you're following me. Make sure you get my free guide. I list the 7 keys there, okay? Make sure you get my $27 guide. If you want to have a detailed explanation of each key, of all the charts, of how to do this yourself, and to use this method on your children. Teach your children how to not gaslight their emotions, right? Teach them. I tell my kids all the time, they have stomach aches a lot. I'm like, is it emotion? Is it energy? Okay. Is it absorbed energy? So my kids know exactly how to test which key. And so here's the really cool thing, you guys. I am never sick, ever. Never sick. Maybe I'll have a hard day because that's life, but I'm never sick. I never have anxiety. I never have depression. And if I do have a hard day, it's for a couple hours or a day, because I have the keys to unlock truth. And you can get yourself to that point too. And we have husbands, narcissists, right? If you have a narcissistic husband, what are you doing to take accountability for the way he's speaking to you? Okay? And there's a reason why you have a narcissistic husband. It's because there's somewhere in your coding that thinks you deserve an asshole. How do I know? Because I was a broken little girl who thought and had a belief system that I was unworthy, I was unlovable. Okay, my mom left me when I was a little girl, so I felt abandonment issues. So I allowed a-hole men to treat me a certain way because my coding in my body said, yeah, that's what she thinks she deserves, so she's going to keep taking it. So you guys wonder why people stay in narcissistic relationships for a long time? It's because they feel like they deserve it. They feel like they're not good enough, right? I stayed with an abuser who beat the hell out of me, right? Who brought other women into our home, and I like tried to vie for his attention. Like I literally had other women. He would bring other women into our home, and I would try to vie for his attention and prove my worth. You guys, this is when I was 19 years old, okay? And so people wonder, they can't comprehend, why would a girl allow, or a woman allow men to treat them that way? It is because of childhood trauma. It is because emotional trauma. Okay, it is from belief systems that we do not believe in ourselves that we are worthy enough or that we're good enough. Okay? That's just the start. So with these 7 keys, if you find yourself in bad relationships, a debt, sickness, okay, that is key number 1. What do you need to change in your life? And then ask, which key will unlock my truth? Okay? Yeah, it's horrible. So when you guys get the 7 keys and you're in an abusive relationship, I guarantee you're going to have some emotional trauma and some generational trauma, because a lot of these things run generationally deep, okay? They're learned behaviors. They're pattern behaviors based off of our parents. And then you could have some spiritual stuff mixed in there too, because I will tell you that those things love to feed off of the toxic energy. So you guys, thank you so much for liking and for sharing and for following, okay? If you feel so called to learn these keys, if you feel called to learn how to get your yes and no, the same system that I learned in Germany, okay? I have my $27 guide. When I do my one-on-ones with women, right? I'm like, get the $27 guide, because I don't want you to think I'm a healer, your savior. Because so many of us, you guys, we keep looking for external validation. That's why I kept getting certification after certification after certification, right? I'm a certified Reiki master. I certified in NLP hypnosis, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, emotion code, MAP. There's so many more. Breakthrough, okay? Inner wise, human design. So I kept feeling like I needed these certifications. And then I did one more. I spent another $1,000 on a certification, and it was the same thing. The same thing with this huge elaborate system. And I knew if she did this one thing, I said, God, if she says this thing, I know that my program is going to change the world. And sure enough, she did. What did she do? What's the one thing that she did that I knew? If she teaches this, I know exactly what her whole entire program is. It is her intuition. It is teaching. She literally used the system to tap into her intuition to know exactly what was wrong. And then she had this huge system, right? You guys don't need that. So all my certifications were keys to unlock truth. So when I certified in quantum healing hypnosis therapy, right, which is my last key, it's past lives. It is a 3 to 4 hour session to go into past lives and figure out if you have any blocks, any lessons. You don't need to do that. If you have your 7 keys and you test what the block is, all you have to say is, do I need to know more? We're speaking to the messenger. Do I need to know more? If the messenger says yes, you keep asking until the messenger says you don't need to know anymore. And then boom, it's cleared in minutes. It takes minutes. Okay? So yes, addictions, physical pain, any type of pain you have, any bad relationships, any money blocks you have, okay? So if you guys want to learn exactly how I do intuitive testing, right? I teach you in my $27 guide. Okay, in my free guide, I also teach a way. Hold on, guys, my water's spilling everywhere. Hold on 1 second. Hey, buddy. Good night, I love you. It's like a waterfall over here. Okay, there we go. So And Shelby, you can block anyone too who's like spamming or any unnecessary comments. So you guys, the last key, okay? The last key, I'm going to tell you a personal story, but you guys, all you need is your intuition. You have to start trusting those downloads, those hits, those intuitive hits. The problem is a lot of us have forgotten what that feels like. And so we doubt if that's truth or not. We're like, is that truth? Is that distortion? And so as you practice using your body to get yeses and nos, right, you will start to recognize there's a pattern. So every time I get a yes, it feels the same way when I'm using my body to test. And then every time I get a no, it's the same feeling in my body. And so I developed that rock solid foundation of truth. Thank you, Jamaican, for the hot tamales. So I have developed that solid rock foundation with Creator, with Source, okay? For me, that's God and Jesus. For you, that might be something else. But you guys, I know that when I get a yes, it's a yes. When I get a no, it's a no, okay? I have no doubts about my yeses or nos. And that is why I teach this. Someone asked a question earlier and I second. They said they have a bunch of energy trauma demons. Yeah, so a lot of you guys, we all are here to experience trauma and trials. None of us came to this earth to have a freeload life where it's just a silver spoon in your mouth. So you guys, traumas and trials are #your training. They're training to evolve, to have a higher consciousness, to have more empathy, to learn the lesson. If you're still having bad relationships, you have not learned the lesson. If you're still in debt and broke, you haven't learned the lesson. So when you use the 7 keys, you are not spiritually bypassing the lessons. You're asking, why do I keep attracting a-holes into my life? Your messenger is going to tell you because you have an emotional trauma. When you were 5 years old, you were sexually abused. And during that sexual abuse, you decided some things about yourself. You decided that you were unworthy. You decided that you were unlovable. You decided that you were not good enough. And now you're an adult in a toxic relationship where a man is treating you like you're not good enough, like you're unworthy. And because you feel that about yourself, it's like your frequency, okay? And frequency attracts like-minded frequency, right? And so the second you heal that part of yourself, that's what like quantum leaping is. Okay, when people say you can quantum leap, it's because you're literally changing your whole entire energy. You guys, we are energy. We are energy, okay? We are pure conscious energy, Christed energy. So, last key, the 7th key. Who's ready for the last key? How are we all doing? How are you guys all feeling with these keys? I'm not blaming victims. This is not victim blaming, okay? This is teaching survivors because I don't speak to victims. I speak to survivors. You survived your emotional trauma and now you're in an abusive relationship. And now we need to figure out what we need to do to get ourselves out of that. Because the truth is that no one's going to save you. No one is going to save anyone from a toxic abusive relationship. Ask any survivor what it took to get out of a bad relationship. It took them knowing their worth. It took the last straw, almost for some of them to death, that they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I am worth more. And they take every little ounce of what they have left and they leave if they can, right? I don't know everybody's story, but yes, you have to take full accountability. That's why we have so many victims, if that's what you want to call it, because people don't know how to take accountability. You have to take accountability. How do I take accountability for my sexual trauma? I was a little girl. I will take accountability by telling that little girl the truth. I took accountability by saying, Heather, that trauma you experienced was not your fault. And I was able to heal myself. Okay? Nobody is going to heal you. And that's another thing. We constantly look for external, right? You're going to heal me. You're going to love me so much. You're going to fix my brokenness. You're going to love me so much. And you're going to give me little breadcrumbs of love. And I'm going to take it because I don't feel like I'm worth anymore. So let's go to the next key. Finally, the last key. So I'm going to tell you a story. my own personal story. So I had done years of holistic training. I knew exactly how to listen to my body. Okay. I started getting debilitating chest pain. It felt like my ribs were crushing in on themselves. And I had the keys, right? I asked my body. I didn't silence the messenger. I said, why am I having chest pain? Why is my chest pain so bad? And so my body's told me, it said it's not from this lifetime. And you guys, I'm hard-headed. And I'm like, what does that even mean? And so I passed it off. And a couple days later, I'm going on almost 4 weeks of debilitating chest pain. Okay. And so I asked my body again, what is this pain? And my body said it again. It is not from this lifetime. And so I did what every good person does. We go on YouTube, right? So I went on YouTube. I found a past life meditation, and I did the meditation, and I found myself in a vision of myself as a redheaded princess of sorts. I had some type of royalty or wealth because I was in some sort of a castle, but I was bawling my eyes out because I knew that I was treated worse, less than the dog. I had no worth. I was a woman. The only worth I had was to produce a male heir. And other than that, I wasn't to be seen or heard or nothing. And I was pouring my eyes out crying, and I knew exactly how that felt. I'm a woman. I claim to have spiritual gifts. I'm silenced. I'm seen as less than. So all these feelings I resonated with at the core. And so I came out of that vision, that meditation, and I reached out to a friend because I still, okay, now what? Now what? I don't know. I've never experienced this before. Still had massive chest pain. So I reached out to a friend and I asked her if we could do a session. I didn't tell her a thing. Didn't tell her one thing. And so she's doing the session on me. And after about 5 to 10 minutes, I like whispered to her, I was like, I think I believe in like multiple lives. And she said, oh, good. So do I. And she's like, I see a little redheaded girl running through the fields. And you guys, in that moment, my chest pain completely went away. I had my whole body lightening. I knew exactly what she said was true, and my pain went away. And since then, I have worked with, again, hundreds of women who are dealing with the persecution's cross. Okay, this is lifetimes of being silenced for truth. Okay, I believe, and I know to be true, that it does not take one lifetime to be an exalted being. It takes multiple journeys of learning and growing. Okay, if you don't believe that, that's totally fine. I didn't either. If you would have talked to me 11 years ago, I would have called you an idiot too and told you to go repent. Okay, so if you don't believe in past lives, that's okay. Do you believe that you were something before you came into this life and you will be something when you leave this life? If you do, the keys will still work. You will just change the meaning of the key. Okay? So for me, this key was transformational and changing my life because I was carrying the persecution's cross. That was being silenced in multiple lives for speaking my truth. And the same thing was happening in this lifetime, but I needed to clear it to step fully into my spiritual gifts, to teach with authority, to teach with embodiment. And you guys, I will come on here and I will teach these keys every single day. And I don't care when I get haters or people say you need to repent or Jesus is the only way or whatever they want to say, because they are not my people. Okay? Just like when Jesus came to this earth and he spoke to his people, and there were people who wanted to murder and kill him for speaking truth. Okay, and they literally hung him on the cross for that. I'm not proclaiming to be Jesus, but I am proclaiming that I'm speaking truth, and there are literally people who despise truth. If it goes against any of their belief codes, it's threatening to their foundation. I know what that feels like because my foundation was threatened when I started learning these things, right? My whole belief system was crumbling as I started to learn more and more truth. But you guys, the truth is what will set you free. And so if you want to learn more about these keys, right, get my free guide. I give you all this information for free. Okay? And I know for a fact that people charge anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 just for the keys. Just to say the information I taught you. Everything's in the keys. So how does this work? I have a pain in my chest. I'm going to acknowledge the pain. That is key one. I'm going to ask the pain, are you physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed? My body is going to say yes to one of the keys, okay? Let's say it's generational, okay? I'm going to ask the messenger, do I need to know more? And then the messenger is going to say yes or no. If she says yes, I don't silence the messenger and try to heal myself, right? No, I say, okay, what do I need to know? Do I need to know how old I was? Do I need to know the emotion? Do I need to know exactly what happened? The second that my body says you don't need to know anymore is the second that your body can release the pain and the energy. And I have literally seen miracles. I have seen people sitting in a chair, can't walk, okay, can hardly move, completely stand up and walk pain-free in literal minutes of using the keys. Because when you silence your truth, you are silencing the messenger, the one thing that will set you free. And you guys have been, a lot of us have been silencing our messengers for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And you wonder why you're sitting at home with chronic pain. You wonder why you're sitting at home broke. You wonder why you're sitting at home with narcissistic abusers or assholes. You wonder why you continue to allow your family to talk crap about you and you still show up to the family parties, okay? So, I had to cut out family members, okay? Was it easy? No. I had to stand up for my truth and heal my emotional traumas. Was that easy? No. The fact is that most people will choose to sit in their pain because it's easier than to face the truth. And that is the hard thing about this, okay? Is you have to take full 100% responsibility and accountability for your health. And the first way to start doing that, I promise you, is start trusting your intuition. Start asking and you will receive, right? Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. And here's another thing that pisses me off more than anything is when you pray, do you know that you get an answer the second you ask? The second you ask, and I'm not saying, dear God, put $1,000 in my bank account. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, dear God, I'm stuck deciding what I need to do. Dear God, I need help with this, okay? You have been answered to instantly, but the problem is we have been taught to silence the messenger. So when you learn to ask yes or no questions, your body responds. Our body is what holds us between the veil. Okay, our body is what keeps us here on earth. So when God and Jesus and our higher self speaks to us, how do we get the message? How do you bring the message here? So I'm here to tell you that we have a loving creator who every time we ask, we receive. Ask and you shall receive. It did not say ask and I'll give you an answer in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months. That's not a loving parent. That's a parent who doesn't care about me. Okay? So when you learn how to tap into your intuition, when you learn how to connect to source, okay, source for me is God, Heavenly Mother, okay, Sophia is mother, okay, that is my connection. You might not have the same connection, that's okay. You might have universe or something else, but when you ask, you receive instantly, okay? And that is not a lie. And remember, I told you, doctors and scientists have proven that our bodies are literal instruments that can test with a 99.9% accuracy. You guys, do you understand that? Raise your hand and put I understand what you're saying, Heather. I need to make sure that you guys are getting this. Do you understand that you are an instrument? An instrument can test yes or no. So when you ask, yes, Gypsy, yes, okay. Thank you. So when you ask God a yes or no question, your body responds instantly. So when you have the 7 keys, yes, Lisa, thank you. So when you have the 7 keys, it looks like this: God, Jesus, universe, source. Is this the right path for me to take right now in this moment? Yes or no? And your body will tell you, is this sickness in my body physical? Yes or no? Is it emotional? Yes or no? Is it spiritual? Yes or no? Is it generational? Yes or no? Is it absorbed energy? Yes or no? And your body will tell you yes or no. If it's a no, you go to the next key until you get the key. You guys, the keys they just unlock truth. Yes, Lisa. Thank you for sharing with more than 10 friends, you freaking queen. So, you guys, I teach these for free because that is how powerful you are. And I know a lot of you guys are having a hard time trusting your intuition. That is the number one thing when I work with people is they say, oh, can you test for me? Oh, are you sure? Oh, I don't know. I just don't trust myself. That is how I know they won, because they still got you tripping up on your intuition. And do you guys recognize, do you understand, if every single person in the world today knew that their bodies were an instrument, that their bodies could test with a 99.9% accuracy? That means when you ask God a question, he responds with a 99.9% accuracy. They have science, they have proven this with sickness. You're like, well, how do they prove that? You guys, they would do labs. They would test using a body, right? Deficiencies in the body. The body would say, this is a deficiency, this is deficiency. They would do blood work and they would compare, right? They would compare. And in the comparisons, it was a 99.9% accuracy. Why isn't it 100%? Because we're the natural man. We're an enemy to God. Okay? Yes, I believe asking for too much also means sometimes you receive a deficit. Yes. So sometimes you can get too far out there, right? Like, what about this? And you will get a no. Or your testing will just, remember I told you intuitively you'll know, like, we're going too far in the deep end. Okay? God will not give you meat. God is not going to give a baby a full cooked steak. Okay? He gives babies meat, precept upon precept. So if you guys are just learning these keys, I want you to know it is you have been divinely guided to me to learn these keys, because somewhere in your life you have been praying for discernment, for truth. You want to be closer. You want to be, you want to escape the matrix. This is how you do it, you guys. You start with your intuition. You start with the 7 keys and you start trusting. You start learning how to ask intuitive questions. Okay? When I do these things, it's because I have learned to ask intuitive questions. A lot of times I'll be working with someone and I don't know. I don't know people or their trauma. So I just ask, is it this? Yes or no? Is it this? Yes or no? And then I'll get a yes. And then I'll ask them, is it this? And they'll be like, yeah, how did you know? I was like, I just asked. You can do the same thing. Hey, Nakia. Hey, my love. I missed you guys today. You guys, I have a spiritual mastery course and we go live every Monday, but I needed to regroup for the holidays. I'm tired. Holy Spirit, long distance healer, BF family, so needed. Yes, I'm so glad you found me. Do you know about multi-allergies? I know about allergies and I know you can test. I also know about first water. That helps with allergies. Okay. So, you guys, if you have not already, make sure you've gotten at least my free guide, okay? I list out the 7 keys. We go really deep into the 3 keys. I teach you a way to get a yes or no. It does take longer because it uses your entire body. If you want my $27 guide, you guys, it's only $27. In January, it's going to go up to $47. But I teach you exactly how I do what I do. I teach you exactly what took me over 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications. And it's so simple. The hardest part for you is going to start trusting your intuition. Sorry. Okay, I just got a help for on speaking autism. You can prevent a lot of allergies by introducing very small amounts. Okay, sorry, I read that so wrong. But you are right. You can introduce your children. Sometimes allergies, you guys, are a built up, though, of toxins in the body, of parasites in the body, or heavy metals. It could be a nutrient deficiency as well. You guys, Hold on, I got to ask if I could teach this now. Can I teach this now? Yes. Okay. So you guys, I have been diving into, this is outside of the 7 keys, but look up first water. And if you know what it is, you're ahead. But they have proven that everything for us to heal ourselves, you guys, God has given our bodies exactly what it needs to we produce our own medicine. I'll just say that. We produce our very own medicine. And it's so powerful, the things that I'm learning. But for now, you guys, if you have multiple allergies, that's going to be in key number 1. So your allergies, your sicknesses, your money blocks, right? That's just becoming aware. And we don't silence the messenger. We ask the body, what is the message? Okay. And then we ask which key. Is it physical? Is it emotional, spiritual, generational, past life absorbed? And you guys, it can be multiple. It could be multiple toxins, multiple parasites, multiple nutrient deficiencies. But you guys, in my $27 guide, I also teach you if it is a nutrient deficiency and you need to take a supplement or food, your body will tell you. And then you can test your supplements. If your supplements are not 90 to 100% efficient at getting to the root cause, you don't buy it. It's a waste of money. Your body will tell you. I test everything. Does my body even need this vitamin? If it's a no, why am I going to waste money? I bet you guys, if you got my $27 guide, test all the supplements in your house, if you even need it. And you will be shocked at how much money you wasted in your cabinet. So this $27 guide alone will save you in your lifetime thousands of dollars, because you're going to know exactly what your body needs to be able to heal itself and to take care of itself. Okay? And it's true. Look it up. Okay, look up how powerful the body is as an instrument. So those are the 7 keys. Okay? How's everyone feeling with the 7 keys? So you guys double click my profile picture. So my picture, and then it'll pull up my profile and you'll see my Stand Store link. You're welcome, Shanae. So let's go ahead. We got done a little bit early. We're going to start doing some one-on-ones. So in just a second, not yet. Oh, that's okay. If you got the keys late, get my free guide. So click my picture twice and get my free guide. I list all the keys for free. Okay. And then we go really deep into the first 3 keys. I teach you a way how to get a yes or no. So even just the free guide, you guys, is worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. It's truth. Thank you, Tell for the rose. And you guys, thanks to my beautiful helper, Shelby, who's also in my spiritual mastery course, for answering all the questions. And you guys, my goal is to get to 100,000 likes, because TikTok will share this out to more people. I do not get paid, just so you know, from the TikTok hearts or the shares. So when you share and heart, this will send the keys to people that need the keys. So when you share to as many people as you think will need these keys, okay? Free information. Because I wish somebody had shared these with me, especially when I was in my 30s, okay? I would have died to have these keys. It would have saved me a lot of trauma and a lot of bad mistakes, because I would have trusted my intuition more. It would have saved me actually $10,000. I made a $10,000 mistake. I invested in some business guru who promised I could make, all the money in the world. And it was absolute garbage. And my body literally was repulsing, throwing up, sick. And I was gaslit and said, oh, that means your body wants to invest that money. That's just the natural way the body responds when you're making that big of an investment in yourself. Baloney. Okay, so, all right, we are going to do one-on-ones. So make sure you're following me. Make sure you guys are hitting those hearts while you're watching. That will help send this out to people who need these keys. And that would be a beautiful energy exchange for me. So can I ask? No, you have to look it up for yourself. I'm not quite ready to share my personal journey with that. So if you're intrigued by it, you got to go look it up. Powerful stuff. The world is awakening to it, but it's powerful stuff. All right, so now we're ready to do some one-on-ones. So if you have 10-10 pain, you have a money block, you have relationship problems, whatever it is, right? We're going to use the 7 keys to unlock truth. So this is what I need you to put. I need you to put what the problem is, a 10-10 or whatever the pain, and then I give you permission. So it has to be all of that. You have to be following me. You have to make sure you share this. Don't spam share, but just share it with people who you know really would need this. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna write my list while you guys are tapping the screen. Don't forget to tappity tap tap tap. Rose Cowgirl. So Amber. And she has back pain. Okay. And then all my empaths that are watching this, if you start feeling pain, it's not yours. Send it back to sender. Remember, we taught you some of these things already in the live. Okay, Patty Reed. And then all of you guys who I am working on, you better have the free guide, because I want you guys to be able to do this for yourself. I'm teaching you how to fish, okay? I'm teaching you how to do this for yourself, because there will be a time where you can't get to a doctor. You need help right then and there. You need to be able to test exactly what's wrong so you know what to do, okay? Summer. Okay, Marcella. Sorry, guys. Sometimes when I scroll up, Sometimes when I scroll up, it like refreshes my screen. Okay, left shoulder pain. Shoulder, and it's a 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Summer. Okay. And then you guys, make sure you're still tapping that screen. I know it's hard, but just like kind of sit and just tap while you're watching. That's what I do on all my favorite lives. I just kind of sit there and tap while I'm watching. Especially on the people I watch who give like so much free good information. There's a lot of incredible people on TikTok who just give from their hearts, man. Just like you could feel their soul on the live. Tonka bean. Okay. Rhiannon, welcome back, Queen. Rhiannon Lee. Yeah, learning to trust yourself is the hardest thing. Yay, Patty, I'm so happy. So this will help too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's start with there. We'll do Zagorka too. So you guys, I know you're on the list. Sometimes it takes a little while to get through everybody, right? But if I say your name, you're on the list. Gypsy Rose, Amber, Brockpen, Patty Reed, Summer, Marciella, Rhiannon Lee, and Zygo Carpet. Okay? For those of you who are on the list, doesn't mean I won't get to you. I'm going to stay later tonight, so I'll ask for a list again. Okay, so for those of you who just joined, okay, I teach the 7 keys. The 7 keys help you unlock your truth. So if you are experiencing any type of heaviness, tired, fatigue, overwhelm, okay, I'm telling you, it's not always physical, okay, it's spiritual. What do I mean by spiritual? I mean a lot of the things we deal with, you can't test on labs, right? They're generational trauma, emotional trauma, spiritual traumas, absorbed energies. And so when you have the 7 keys, which I give you for free, and you know how to tap into your intuition, your yes and your no, all you're asking is the messenger to show you which key will unlock your truth. And I have worked with hundreds of people who have gone from a 10-10 pain 0 to literal 0 in minutes. Okay? So can you pin Gypsy Rose for me? Gypsy Rose, and then Amber, then Patty, then Summer, Marcella, Rihanna, and Zyga. That's the order. So Gypsy, are you here, Queen? Yes, everything is possible, right, Lisa? Yeah, and you have to believe, that's a huge thing too, is you have to believe you can be healed. Like if you do not believe you can be healed, you will never be healed. Like, I know I talk about Jesus on here a lot, but Jesus did not go up just healing people, like forcing healing. They believed, right? And if they were little children, it was the belief of the parents. Okay, Gypsy Rose. Perfect. So you guys, I'm in my $27 guide, I teach you exactly the system I learned in Germany, okay, how to get a yes or a no. And I teach you exactly how to do this for other people because there is a very safe way. We don't just go around doing this for people, especially if we don't force healing on people. So I asked, do I have permission from Gypsy Rose from Amber? And I got a yes. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the 7 keys. So follow me. I teach this all the time. Start practicing on the live with me, okay? So we're going to ask which key will unlock Gypsy Rose's pain first, okay? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Which one is it? Physical, emotional, spiritual. So the first key I got is spiritual. You guys, when I use the keys, it's just the messenger saying what's first priority, and then we clear it. There could be multiple keys attached to the same pain. Is it good? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So the spiritual key has 2 sides, good, ascension, integration, and then bad. So I tested good. So Gypsy Rose, you are dealing with integration, ascension symptoms, which mimics headaches, massive fatigue. Have you been dealing with fatigue, ringing in the ears? So you are clearing and ascending, which is good. So messenger, your body just wanted you to be aware of that. So show us the next key, physical, emotional, spiritual. Is that the same one? Yes. Okay, so there's more that we need. She needs to do prayer, consecration. Is it something good? Oh, something bad. Okay, physical. So demonic, unclean, curse, hex. Okay. So you guys, in my $27 guide, I kind of go over the spiritual things. I could write an entire book on spiritual things, right? You don't need to know all of the spiritual things. You don't need to know that a diaper has poopy in it for it to be stinky. Okay? I'm working with some women and they're like, but I don't know exactly what it is, so I can't send it away. Like that's not true. And if you do need to know more, just ask. Okay? You have to learn how to ask intuitive questions. So I asked hex, yes. So Gypsy Rose, there was a hex. Does she need to know more? Yes. So what age? Does she need to know the age? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 5. So at age 6, dealing with a lot of hexes. So a hex is like a curse put on you. People can do that just with their words. Some people can say, I hate you, I hope you die, or I think you're stupid and ugly, or whatever, right? So, Gypsy, are you here? I think your message is getting filtered out. So at age 6, there was something that happened where like a hex was put on you. Does she need to know more? Nope. So you can clear that. So how you guys clear any type of physical pain, and this is the way that I have seen. So remember, yay, Andrea, you got my book. Which one, Queen? I'm so excited. So you guys, I'm going to teach you the #1 fastest way to release pain. So remember I told you I got certified. That's okay if you don't know. So remember I told you got certified. There, so many people have hundreds of ways to release, right? And we know in therapy there's so many ways. The fastest way that I have seen people release their pain is through unconditional love for themselves. Okay, this is what I call holding sacred space for your body. Breathing in unconditional love into your body, into the pain, and then breathing the pain out of your body. That is how each person that I'm going to be testing, that is how you are going to remove this pain. So we asked the messenger, we asked our intuition, the messenger spoke, the messenger tells us what we need to know. Once we get the message, the messenger can leave. Does this make sense? For those of you guys who are watching, does this make sense? Your intuition, your body speaks yes or no. The messenger will tell which key will unlock truth. When we unlock the key, the messenger says there's no more you need to know. The messenger leaves, right? Right now, the messenger is pain. So Gypsy Rose, I want you to clear. Wherever this pain is, I want you to breathe in unconditional love, and I want you to say out loud or in your mind, I clear this hex that was put on me when I was 6 years old. I remove it in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. This hex, I remove it. And then I want you to pay attention to the pain. Where's the pain showing up? Okay, that's where it's anchored into your body. And you're just going to breathe unconditional love into that pain. And then with each breath out, you're forcing the pain out of your body. So you guys, we can have multiple keys attached to one area. Yay, Brenda. I'm so excited for you, love. You're going to be the next intuitive teacher, Brenda. You're going to teach all these things to your people. So we're going to ask, is there another key attached to Amber's pain? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational was the next key. Yay, Andrea. I cannot wait for you guys. So generational. So you guys, generational, we already talked about this is one of the key. Was it from mom? It was from dad's side. Does she need to know more? Yes. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations back. Okay. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. Okay, so you guys, in my $27 guide, I have a list of the emotions. And you guys forgive me, because I know I found 2 spelling errors. But they have been corrected. Front page, back page. 50 through 60, 60, 61, 62. Worry. So the emotion that was passed down generationally is worry, okay? And that's trapped in your body. So you, Amber, when you feel that worry in your body and that you feel that pain, I want you to command this worry to leave your body in all generations, in all timelines, dimensions, and space. I command this worry to leave my body in all timelines, generations, and space. And you guys, there's no right or wrong to do this, just so you know. There's a million ways you can release. As soon as the messenger tells you the lesson, the information, you command it to leave your body. You cry. You're a worrywart. Yeah. Well, a lot of that was actually generational. Gypsy, Amber. Okay. This has been inputted into your epigenetics, into your DNA. And so you are commanding that to be cleared now in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. And I want you to keep breathing unconditional love into your entire body and see that pain. Hey, Rock, welcome back, Queen. Does Amber need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. So you guys, I told you on my live, we are clearing persecution crosses left and friggin' right, okay? It is because I am calling in my people, my women, my men who are ready to step fully into their spiritual gifts, who are ready to be seen and to be heard, to transmute all of the traumas, right? Because I know you've been through more physical and sexual traumas, emotional traumas than most, okay? Most. When you tell people your stories, they almost don't believe you. It's the persecution's cross, karma. So this one for you is karma. Does she need to know more? Yes. Was it karma around money? Karma around relationships. So it's karma around relationships. The good thing is your body is saying you can clear this karma because you've overcame it. Thank you, Brenda. So, yeah, if you guys didn't make it on the list, make sure you follow me. Don't lose me. Do not lose me, you guys. I teach these keys for free. And it took me over a decade of my life just to learn the keys. So, Amber, getting away from narc husband. Yep. Okay. So clearing this karma, Okay, this relationship karma. This is how you clear anything generational past life. You just command it to leave your body, you guys. Sometimes there's no pain. It's just the block. So this is how I release anything. I say, I release this karma from my body in all timelines, dimensions, and space. And I command that part of me to be healed fully, to be filled with unconditional love. And then I just keep talking to my body. I love you. You're worthy of the most beautiful, amazing relationships. Every part of your body, every cell in your entire body is just so excited for you to finally see that you're worthy of the most unconditional love, to be seen and to be held without fear or anxiety, to be loved like you always wanted to be loved. You deserve that. And we're clearing anything that's preventing that from coming in. You guys, I just keep going and going. And then I test, has that been cleared? So has that been cleared for Amber? Yes. Okay. Beck, yeah. You guys, as you clear these things, so as I cleared the generational trauma, the emotional trauma, right? I remembered a part of myself. And you guys, today, if you saw the 19-year-old me, she's totally different than the 41-year-old me, right? I would never, ever allow anybody to disrespect me or talk to me in any way. And the second they even started to fumble a word, boom, they'd be gone. Because I am the freaking queen. You know how people teach the Queen of England? Do you know how they respect her? Do you think anyone is going to step out of line even a little bit around the Queen of England? Hell no. And that's how I live my life. Ask my husband. Ask my family members. Ask my children. Ask my friends. Who does Heather think she is? And how does Heather allow other people to treat Heather? And that's what I want for you. Hell yeah, Summer. Because I am the freaking queen. And nobody will disrespect me ever again. Ever. And I had to learn that the hard way. But that's why I can teach these keys with full embodied truth, because I'm not some pretend therapist trainer who spent 4 or 5 years behind a book and never experienced any trauma. Okay? So I lived through these keys. Creator is asking you, I'm talking to you, who's dealt with the physical, the sexual, the emotional, the religious trauma. They were intentional for you to step fully into your birthright today. You are reclaiming lifetimes of being silent so that today you can step firmly into your gifts and you can start helping the same people through the same experiences. Okay? So Amber has gone through traumas. She's clearing these things. She is taking accountability. She is not a victim. She is a survivor. There is a difference. Our words bring power. Why do you think we have an epidemic of suicide rates? Because we are calling people victims, right? Which makes them empowered. Not empowered. It makes them powerless. You're a victim. Okay? We don't use that terminology in my lives. You're a survivor, queen. You survived horrific trauma. Now we're going to heal that shit. Now we're going to rewrite your story and you're going to tell yourself the truth that nobody told you when you were a little girl. Okay, you're reclaiming your power. And as you reclaim all those broken pieces, you're like a freaking superwoman. And that's what's happening. Okay? So Amber, we're clearing that past life karma. We're calling in the new relationship. Hey, Shanna, if you do not believe in God, that's totally fine. This live isn't for you and we're not your people. And not all illnesses are physical. I proved that on my live with more than hundreds of people. So do your own research, queen, or find your own tribe of like Satan worshipers. Or people who just are atheists and don't believe, right? The keys still work even if you don't believe in God, honestly, because they're truth. That's why it's called the truth code. Not Heather's code, not Jesus's code, not God's code. The truth code, because the truth will set you free. And you have to stop. You guys have to stop seeking external validation for freaking everything. So when I get information from source, creator, can't lie, always tells the truth with a 99% accuracy. You will never be gaslit in your entire life because you will know the truth. Not me, you. Okay? All right, Amber, how are you feeling? I kind of go off on tangents sometimes. Amber, how's that pain? How you feeling, Queen? Thanks for the love. Fire tonight. Thank you, Understory. Because I'm not here to be bossed around or told what, right? And that's okay if people believe differently. Don't waste your time, you guys. If I can teach you anything, don't waste 1 second of your time going on anybody else's page disagreeing. Okay? Yes, you can. So do not waste any second. If you disagree with someone, you just next. If someone comes on your page and starts fighting with you, you ignore them. We do not cast our pearls before swine, and we do not waste our energy. My energy only goes to those people who think I'm a queen and treat me like a queen. Okay? And it's mutual respect. Okay? All right. Amber, how you feeling? Did she say how she's feeling? Does she need another key? Okay, let's go through Amber real quick so we can get through Patty Reed. So Karen, make sure you're not doing massive emojis because it will get you muted. Because TikTok thinks you're a bot. So Patty, are you here? Amber, we just have a couple more keys. So absorbed, does she have more keys than absorbed? Yes. Multiple absorbed, 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15. Okay. So Amber, multiple absorbed energy. So you are an empath. Okay, that is your gift. But you're taking on you're like a free sponge. Okay? You just allow so many people to dump on you, and then they feel really good when they leave your space, and you feel like absolute garbage. Because you're like a wide open, loving sponge. And so we got to do that. Yay, Shati. So excited, Queen. So Amber, I want you to command all those energies, every single energy I absorbed, to be cleared from my body now. And then I want you to set terms to your energetic field. I do not allow anyone any longer to take from my energy field or to dump on me. I do not take dumped energy on me anymore. And then now that you have the 7 keys, Amber, if you feel your energy draining again or you feel sick or pain, you're going to ask, is this mine? And if it's not, you're going to clear it. Does she need another key? No. So let us know, Amber, when that drops down. Will she get to a 0 tonight? You will get to a 0 tonight. Okay. Is Patty Reed here or Summer? Yeah, don't troll trolls. Don't do that. That's like creating energy. Yeah, that was one of my mentors said. She said, do not be the person that trolls or like wants to fight people. I have to tell my son that. I always felt it even when I'm alone. Oh, Amber, come into our community, Queen. Be a part of our family. Okay, we don't do that to people here. Okay? Hang out in my lives, Queen. I will empower you. I will make you feel like you're a queen, and I will never, ever, ever, ever give up on you. Hang out with me long enough, and you'll be a baddie, I promise. Hey, Patty. Okay, I see you, Patty. Okay, so we're going to actually get Patty first, and then Summer, you're next. I'll stop talking, and we'll get right to the keys so that you guys can learn these keys, because they're so, so, so powerful, you guys. I'm not powerful. I'm not the savior. You are. Learn your yes and no. Learn the 7 keys, and boom. Anything you have ever wanted to know about anything, as long as it's within the realm, right, and it's milk before steak, you will have the answer instantly. Okay, so Patty, I have permission? Yes. Okay, Patty is dealing with a memory block. Uh-oh. Let me just check in. Age of 5. What's the age? Is it from 7 on? Patty? Is it from age 7 on that you have this memory block? Because you guys, memory blocks are actually your body's protection mechanism. Younger. Okay, I knew it was childhood. A lot of times when we can't remember childhood, it's because we literally dealt with horrific trauma, whether that was physical or sexual. and it's a way for our body to protect us. And so now as you're an adult, if you don't have a memory, we have to create safety in the body. It doesn't mean you have to remember exactly the traumas. It just means we need to go to that little girl and tell her what she needed to hear. Okay, so my husband, oh, I'm rambling again. My husband had no memory from 7 on. It took him we've been married for 16 years. It took him 15 years to finally create enough safety for his body to release the memory of his sexual trauma. And he was a little boy, full memory. So let me ask permission. Can she know what this memory is now? Yes. Okay. So we're going to ask which key will unlock this truth. Okay. Is it physical? It's emotional. Okay. Emotional. You guys, the emotional key is emotions we couldn't handle anywhere from 0 to 25. Do we need to know more? Yes. Age 1 through 5, age 1, age 2. So something happened at age 3, Patty. You guys, I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I'm asking my intuition to say yes or no. Okay. And I test with a 99% accuracy with no distortion, only truth, because I've consecrated my body to be used as an instrument only for the highest and greatest good. So something at 3. Yes, Lainey, my list is closed right now, honey, but follow me. Make sure you're following me, and I go live almost every day. I'm not going to go live Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but I go live almost every day. And then get the free guide, Queen Lainey, so that you can do this for yourself, okay? Because I promise you could do exactly what I'm doing. So Patty, did anything happen? She doesn't know. So it was age 3. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. Okay. Front page, back page. 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 60, 61, 62. Okay, so worry at age 3. So remember when I told you guys that you actually don't have to remember the trauma. The messenger will tell you what you need to clear for that to come up. So Patty, I want you to just hold unconditional love because she doesn't have pain. She just has a memory block. And I want you to just say, I command this worry at age 3 to leave my body. So Patty, I command this worry that's in my body from age 3 to leave. And then I want you to say that I create safety in my body and it is safe for me now to remember. So it is safe for me to remember. Yeah, you guys, we're so close to 100,000. Thank you guys. You guys, I don't get paid for the hearts. If I do, it's like pennies, like 2 pennies or $2 a live I make, I think. And I don't get money for the shares either. This is just so other people can get this information. Do I have to translate your guide to Danish? I don't think so. Unless English is hard for you. It is so simple, easy. So simple, easy, I promise. So Patty, how we doing? That's been cleared. Good job. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual. Okay, so the next key is spiritual, Patty. The good, the bad. Demonic. Okay, so demonic. You guys, when I teach spiritual things like demonic or fiery dart or deceivers, I don't get scared. It's not like the movies. I mean, sometimes it is, but that's very rare. Okay? So demonic, Patty. Are there more than one? Yes. Legion. Was it attached at age 3? Okay. Are they preventing her from remembering? Yes. Okay. So at age 3, whatever happened, there was this huge demonic attachment. Patty, how you doing? Yeah. And so we need to clear these legions of entities. And if you guys have never cleared anything like demonic, you don't always have to know what it is, right? But this is how I command. I close my eyes. If I feel some pain in my body all of a sudden, like when I call it out, I might get like chest pain or like a neck pain. Then I know that's where it's like anchored in. But this is how I clear demonic entities, you guys. There's no right or wrong way. Whatever you feel called intuitively to say out loud is exactly what you need to do, right? Remember I said the hardest part is to trust your intuition, to trust that you know exactly what to do. So this is how I do it. Okay? I say, I command this demonic entity that's attached to my body, in this case, legions. Can I do this for Patty? Yes. We command these legions of entities. I don't think she's still here, but I'm just going to do this clearing for her just in case. Do I have permission to do the clearing? Yes. Okay. Yes, a lot of us can't tell the difference, Aaron, because we've been taught to doubt, right? But as you start using your yes and no, you'll be able to start to intuitively know the difference. Okay. You're doing good, Patty. Okay, so Patty, I want you to do this with me. Just repeat what I'm saying out loud with like affirmity. So I command these demonic entities, legion, that are attached to my body. And if your mouth is bound shut, that's happened to me before, just say it in your mind. I remove any tracers, any trackers. I become invisible to them. They can never find me or see me ever again. And I command them to leave in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. I command my body to be healed and to be protected. And you can say in the name of Jesus if you want, in the name of God, in the name of Mary. That's been cleared. Does she need more? Yes. Does she need an angel? Yes. Does she need God? So, Patty, I would call Jesus in specifically and have him help you clear this. And so it's as easy as just seeing him there and like protecting you or holding you or just doing that work for you. Yeah. Yes, in the Bible it does say in the name of Jesus. You are correct. But we are Christ consciousness. Okay, we are literal creations of God. And so we can just command them in our name. Because Jesus even said that Satan can prick our heel and we can bash him in the head. He said we could do that. Okay? But there is no right or wrong way, you guys. I'm not going to punish my child because they tried to clear something demonic and they didn't say my name. I'm not going to be like, I'm not helping you. You didn't even say my name right. You said Yeshua, or you said Jesus, or you said Elohim. Okay, that's not, we have to get out of the box, like what we put ourselves in, this tiny little box. You guys, God does not fit in a box. He is everywhere and everything, and he's beautiful and magnificent. And if I call upon my power with my intention, his power to clear things, it's done. Thanks, Shelby. Blocking the haters. I'm telling you, people don't like it when if you don't stay in the box with them, they get super mad. Yes. So Patty, how you feeling? And then, oh my goodness. Summer, are you still here, Queen? Yeah. Don't put me in a box either. Don't tell me what I have to say. Don't tell me what I have. That's what I lived my whole entire childhood. You have to say it this way. You have to do it this way. And if you don't, you're going to hell for all eternity. Yay, we're going to make it to 100,000. Boom, guys. How you feeling, Patty? Does she need another key? Nope. Good job. Perfect. You're welcome, Patty. How is the pain or feeling? Does it feel lighter? And then with your memory, pay attention to dreams now. And as you cleared that, most likely flashbacks are going to happen. So here's my, if a flashback happens and you see something or you remember something, remember you don't have to allow that to take over everything. Allow the emotions to come up. You can grieve a little bit. But what you need to do is go to that 3-year-old little girl. Just take her and sit her on your lap. You don't have to look at the trauma. You need to talk to her. She's the one that matters, and she's the one that needs the truth. the love, the validation, the permission to be free of whatever happened to her at 3. Okay? And that's going to clear a lot of things into your future life too. Does Patty need more? No. Okay. Is Summer here? Sorry, guys. I know. I try to like make sure I spend good time with each person, and I'm teaching because I'm trying to teach you how to do this yourself. You're welcome. You guys, my water bottle is freaking, isn't it cute though? If you guys haven't gotten these crystal water bottles, they're amazing. They're amazing when they don't leak. Sorry, Mohammed, I'm not accepting people. Okay, so Summer isn't here. Marcella, is Marcella here? Thank you, Raina. You guys, we did 100,000. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for sharing. You guys make sure you get the free guide. Oh, Summer's here. Okay, Summer, and then Marcella, your next queen. All right, Miss Summer has 7 out of 10 pain. So when someone has 7 out of 10 pain, right, we're speaking to the pain. So do I have permission to test Summer? I got a yes. We're going to ask which key. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational? Ooh, past life, Summer. Past life is the first key. Persecution's cross. Okay. All right, Summer. So persecution's cross. Summer, queen. You know God put you here to do big things. I'm talking massive, big things. To be fully seen, to be fully heard, spiritual things. Okay? Trauma in your lifetime. Life was not easy for you. That was intentional, right? That was your trials and your trauma to be your training. And so what you're going to do is this persecution cross is being silenced in multiple lifetimes for doing the same thing, trying to bring truth into the world, right? And so what I want you to do is it's almost like the phoenix rising. When you clear this persecution's cross, I want you to call all your energy back. So this is kind of how I do it. I command all of my energy to come back to me in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. And I command this persecution's cross to leave, to be transmuted into all timelines, into all space. And it's like I feel all of the energy coming back to me and this fire like burning in my chest. I command this persecution's cross to leave. I've learned all the lessons and I'm ready to step fully into my purpose, into my truth, to be fully seen, to be fully heard, and to have no fear. Yeah, got ringing in your ear, you guys, when I speak truth or get downloads, that's happening. So you guys, with the 7 keys, if you test spiritual and you test what the ringing in your ears is, it could be ascension and integration. Okay? Good job. Good job, Summer. That's been cleared 100%. So you guys, as you're clearing, sometimes you get hot, sweaty, you cry, you feel freezing cold, you vomit. Okay, that's just energy moving. Okay, does Summer need another key? Yes. And then feel this pain leaving your body too, Summer, because wherever this pain is, that's where that persecution cross was literally anchored in your body. Next key is physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Yeah, Rihanna, you're right after Marciela. I'll go through Summer quickly, though. Generational from mom, from dad. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, multiple lifetimes. Not just this lifetime, but a pattern of lifetimes. This is the same thing generationally from your dad's line, okay? That keeps cycling. It's like a pattern. And so you're ready to clear that. Gall, bitterness, the gall. Okay, so you're going to command that. I command this generational emotion of gall to leave my body in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. Does she need to know more about this key? Generational from her dad. Multiple generations, multiple lifetimes. Patty, I'm experiencing a pain in the middle of my chest to the right side. It's physical, emotional, spiritual. Okay, that's the demonic, Patty. So command that to be cleared. That's a fiery dart of the adversary. Was that thrown? Yeah. So just command the fiery dart of the adversary to leave your body. Ooh, Lainey. That's because you got demonic attached to you, Lainey. So sometimes as we are speaking truth, you guys will feel it and hear it, and your body will be like, pay attention. This is you. Claim it so you can clear it. Okay, Summer, how you doing, Queen? Patty, you got the power. Clear that fiery dart out. Okay, a fiery dart is like a knife or like something thrown at you to like cause sharp pain. And you can clear that out. Summer, how you doing, Queen? And then Marciella, you're up. Yes. Hi, Milani. Ooh, Summer. Summer in the house. Drop into a 3, Queen. This is what I'm talking about. Summer giving permission for people to go from a 7 pain to a 3 pain in literal minutes. Okay, so you guys, I teach you exactly how to do this in my $27 guide. I give you the 7 keys for free. The 7 keys unlock your truth. Yeah, tap. What is that sharp pain? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed? Okay, sometimes my sharp pains are absorbed energy, like oof. Okay, Summer, does she need another key? Yes, physical, emotional, spiritual, unclean, demonic. So demonic, Summer. Are there more than one? Nope. Does she need to know more? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10. Age 11 is when this showed up, Summer. She needs to know the emotion. Nope. So did something happen at age 11? It's okay if nothing did, but that's when that demonic entity attached. So wherever this pain is in your body, I again want you to command, I command this demonic entity to leave my body. I become invisible. It cannot leave any tracers or trackers on my body. I remove all tracers and trackers. I become absolutely invisible, and I cast this demonic entity out in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. And then anything else you want to say in the name of Jesus. Good job. Does she need another keep? Nope, that was it, Summer. Good job, Summer. Rianne and Lee, it's probably really late at your house. That's probably why you wanted to go next, huh, Queen? I'm so sorry. I'll get through Marciella really quick. Marciella, are you still here? Yeah, if you have pain in your wrist, okay, you can ask what it is. Is it physical? I got spiritual. Okay, Marcella. Hey, Queen. Okay, and then Summer, let us know when that drops to a 0. And then Patty, you let me know when yours drops to a 0. I think Amber hopped off because I saw her wanting to join, but she should be at a 0 too. Oh, Patty, you're not going to get a number, Queen. You just cleared emotion memory block, so you're good. Okay, so Summer, you let us know when you get to a 0. Okay, Marciella, I have permission. Yes, physical, emotional, spiritual is the first key. Okay, what's your pain level at, Amber? Marcella, physical, emotional, spiritual. Marcella, spiritual. I'm Heather, generational. Physical, emotional, generational, spirit. Okay, spiritual for sure, Marcella. Integration. Wow, you guys, there's always a theme. And tonight's theme is demonic entities. So Marcella, this pain in your shoulder, it's attached to her shoulder. No, you said there was somewhere else. It's not the shoulder, it's wherever else. That's a 6.5. That's where it's attached. Okay. So Marcella, I want you to command this demonic entity that's attached to your body to be removed, to become invisible to it. It can no longer see you. Remove all trackers, all traces It cannot find you ever again. You become invisible. I command it to leave my body in all timelines, dimensions, and space. Okay, and command your body to be healed in the name of Jesus, or whatever you feel called, whatever your higher source is. Okay, Gypsy, does she need another key? Yes. So it's spiritual, Amber. Demonic. Telling you the theme is demonic. So if you guys are feeling pain in your body and you're watching this and I'm not working on you, most likely you can test if it's demonic. You can clear it in the name of Jesus. Command it to leave in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. You guys have to become invisible to it. Command to become invisible to it. They cannot see you and they cannot leave any trackers on you. Okay? So this is what it looks like. They will leave a tracker on your body. I didn't understand why I kept getting like attacks right here. I would clear it, I'd cleanse it, it would go away. And then 3 days later it would come back. And I'm like, why is this happening? And then I met with someone who's also in the spiritual realm. They're like, because they live like a pin drop tracker on you so that when you're about to clear, they leave. Because if they leave and you command to be cleared, it's not for them. And then they come back, right? When they know you're not clearing. So I remove all trackers and tracers. You cannot leave anything in my body in any timeline, in any dimension, in any space. I'm invisible to you forever. Okay? And that should clear it. Yes, that is the same when you sage a home. So this is what saging does. Saging, right? It smells bad. They don't like it. They leave. And then as soon as the sage settles or leaves, they come back. Unless you have specifically consecrated your space and set terms and boundaries to your space, then they are not allowed back. Okay, your word is like literal consecration. It can't break it. Yeah, a lot of people don't. Sweet, you can. I turned my gift into income. Okay, join my spiritual mastery course. Okay, awaken your spiritual gifts fully, and then you'll be able to step fully into your purpose. Summer, how are you feeling? Marcella, how are you feeling? Marcella, how are you feeling with that? How's that pain? She needs another key. Lighter. Okay, good. So out of the 6-5, where did you drop to? And then Summer, where are you at, love? Shut up, Marcella. Yes, queen. Marcella, feeling no pain. Marcella, one thing, demonic. Do you guys, this is what I'm talking about. It is not always physical. It could be spiritual and it could be one freaking thing. Good job, Marcella. Summer. Pain is gone, but she has a numb foot. Okay, we haven't tested the numb foot because that was another thing. So can we all send so much love to Summer, to Patty, to Marcella, to Amber? You guys, these queens, I did not heal them. I'm not their savior. I used the 7 keys to unlock their truth. And then the second they heard the truth, they were allowed to clear, right? They knew what they were clearing. Good job, you guys. I'm so freaking proud of you guys. All right, Summer, let's test her foot. So if you guys have multiple pain points in your body, when you use the 7 keys, I always ask, what is first priority? What is first priority? Okay, I ask, is my head and my shoulder and my foot all connected? If I get a no, then I have to treat them separately. So your body will tell you. So we're working on Summer's foot. Her foot is numb. So now we're going to ask her foot. What's the message to help her foot? Her foot is numb. What key? It's physical, emotional, it's spiritual. Okay, it's spiritual. It's the good side. No, it's the bad side. Demonic, unclean, familiar, fiery dart. So a fiery dart of the adversary. That looks like something that was cast upon you to cause pain or numbness or injury, right? And so just like you would cast out a demonic entity, you would cast out any fiery dart, anything that was used against you. So, Summer, I want you to just command in your foot. I command anything that was put upon me to hurt my body, that is hurting my foot, to leave my body now. In all timelines, dimensions, and space. I command my foot to be fully healed, fully cleared, and fully cleansed. And you guys remember I said there could be multiple keys attached to the same thing. So then I'm going to ask, is there another key? And I got a yes. If I got a no, that's all she would need to do. So is it physical, emotional, spiritual again? Is it more than a fiery dart? Yes. Unclean. So I also got demonic. So I don't know why, but your body will always tell you what's first priority to clear first. So first she cleared the attack, the fiery dart. Now she's going to clear the demonic. Or is there more than one? Is there legion? So if I ever get legion, you guys, legion is like hundreds. Usually there's like a portal. It's like an attachment. So there's multiples coming in and out. So is it a portal? Yes. Is the portal attached to her foot? Yes. You guys, how do I know this? I'm just asking yes or no questions. Whatever comes to my mind that I think it might be, I'm just going to ask. And if it's not, then I keep asking more questions. Okay? Because I don't know. I don't know. I could write a whole book on spiritual warfare. I could write multiple books just on fiery darts of the adversary, right? I don't know everything, so you have to learn how to become a detective. Thanks, Melissa. I missed you today in our lives. Okay. So, Summer, just like you did the other ones, I command these demonic entities, legions attached to my foot, to be cleansed and cleared in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. I become invisible to you. You can never, ever see me or hurt me again. I remove any tracers, any trackers in all timelines, dimensions, and space. In the name of Jesus, I command you to leave now. And then I breathe unconditional love into my foot. And just see it, you guys. One thing that I learned in theta healing is that you have to witness the healing. So witness your body being fully healed. And that helps, right? That helps the process of your body healing. See yourself being fully healed. Okay. How we doing, Summer? Headache coming on hard, tired, right ankle and left top of foot, not in stomach. So, Amber, as you start clearing things, your body is now, oh, she's listening. Now I'm going to start pulling everything up to clear. So let me ask Amber, is this are these all that she's feeling demonic right now? Overwhelmingly demonic. Legion. Yes. Okay. So Amber, if we can all do this for Amber. Ooh, Annette. Good, Summer. Okay, Summer's feeling lighter. Yes. Okay, this is what I want to do. For all of you guys, all 394 in and out who are coming in and out, I want you guys to all, can we all just hold sacred space for Amber and just command your angels to help administer Amber, that whatever these entities, these demonic entities in her home, that they will be forced out of her home. And we're going to send like warriors of angels to her home. All you have to do is just ask. I ask all my spiritual angels, my spiritual guides, to be sent to Amber's home to clear these demonic entities that are causing her massive physical pain in all points of her body. I bless that her body can be healed for her highest and greatest good, that Jesus can be there with her, the Heavenly Mother can be there with her, that her spiritual guides, her higher self can be with her now, that she can know that she is worthy of unconditional love, that she is worthy, she is so worthy. And that if you can just release all the distortion and all the lies in her lifetime, this lifetime of abuses and atrocities done to her body. And can you please heal her body and clear all those absorbed energies that aren't hers in all timelines, dimensions, and space, so that she can be freed from all of these demonic entities. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Thank you, everybody. We got to help our brothers and sisters out. That is called charity. That is the purest love of God, is when you help your neighbor. Charity is the purest love of God. You want to help someone, you pray for them. Is there any more we can do for Amber tonight? Good job, everyone. Good job. Rhiannon, are you here, Lee? Oh, Danielle, I love you, Queen. She's like, I hugged her. That almost made me cry. We all need a hug, don't we? Rhiannon, are you here, Queen? You're so welcome, Amber. Glad to have you here, Queen, so we can all love and support on you. All right. And then is Rhiannon still here? I feel so bad. I know it's probably late for her. And then I'm just going to go follow some people back. If you guys have been following my lives for a while and we're not friends, send me a private message so that we can be friends. Okay, I'm just following my queens. Okay. Hey, Rhiannon, love. You're doing good. Okay. Tell me, Queen, what are we working on tonight? I know you still had that cough. And then Zygor Pet is next. And then we'll redo the list. Well, I'm going to redo the keys for the next group and then we'll go. Good job, Amber. Headache gone, facial twitching. Yeah, so is this integration or all demons cleared? Are they clearing? So this is just integration. So trust. Amber, I want you to see you like fully protected in light and love. And just, so those things have been cleared. It's your body now integrating. So those pains are going to be clearing up. Does she need to know more for the demonic entities? No. Yep. So that's just integration. So Rhiannon, what are we working on, Queen? I have permission. I'm just going to do the all over keys. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. My penis come back through my body after seeing my mom. Oh, okay. Okay. So do we need to treat the insomnia first? No. The mom, seeing her mom. Did she absorb energies? Yeah. She absorbed energies. Is the first key physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past? So the first key is absorbed. What she take from her mom, front page, back page. 53, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. So lost. Lost was the main one. How many absorbed energies did... Thanks, Danielle. How many absorbed energies did she take on from her mom? 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20. Okay, you absorb multiple lifetimes. So you guys, when I test generationally and I keep going past, if I go past 10 or 20 or 30, we're not, right? We're talking about multiple, a cycle. Okay. Time is not like this, right? Time is not linear. It's dimensional. And so this is not just this lifetime of this absorbed energy from your mom. It's like cycles, repetitive cycles of lost. So, yep. Yeah. So that totally puts you into fight or flight. So Rihanna, I just want you to take a couple deep grounding breaths. And I want you to tap your thymus. Take 3 deep breaths in and out. So for those of you guys who are watching, if you ever go into fight or flight, do this method. So you're just going to take 3 deep breaths in and out. When I do this, I just breathe in unconditional love into my whole body. Like you are so unconditionally loved. And I just breathe all the stress out. And then I command my body, my soul, to come back into my body. A lot of us were tethered. If you're feeling airy or loopy or like not in your body, you need to command your spirit to come fully back into your body, right? It's safe to come back into my body. So Rhiannon, it's safe to come back into my body. And then once you feel like you're a little bit calm or rested, when I have the keys, when I test the keys, like in my $27 guide, I teach you how to test. Right? I teach you how to test yes or no. I will say, am I grounded? Yes. Am I grounded 100%? Yes. Is Rhiannon grounded? Yes. Is she grounded 100%? Yes. Okay. Can she now clear these absorbed energies? Yes. So Rhiannon, I want you to, in your mind's eye, I want you to see almost like this tie in your body. And then pay attention if any pain comes up when I say this. There is a generational and multiple lifetimes. It's what's the word? Cystic? It's not cystic, but it's cycling through like lifetimes. Like it's not being cleared. It keeps coming back into each life, like trying to be cleared out. This feeling of lost, like this deep sense of like not belonging, like lost. So I want you to clear that and just see that being cleared and just I command this deep feeling of lost to be cleared from my body in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space, and any and all absorbed energies that are tied to my mom. I command them to be cleared now. Those no longer can affect me. Those will no longer affect me physically. Okay? Good job, Rhiannon. Those have been cleared 100%. Does she have any more absorbed energies tied to her mom that she needs to clear? No. Are those clearing now? Yes. So just integration. Okay. Does she need anything else from leaving her mom? Nope. So, you guys, I'm just using my yes and no questions. I don't know everything. I have to ask intuitive questions. I don't know. I've gotten really, really good at figuring out what questions to ask. The more detailed you can be in the questions, the more clear the answer will be. Okay? I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I'm not your healer or your savior. I just learned how to ask. Oh, thank you, Rosa. Yeah, make sure you get my free guide, love. I teach you all the keys for free. Okay, Rhiannon, let's tap into Rhiannon. She needs another key. Yes, is this for her insomnia? No, this is just an all-over key. Okay, physical, emotional, spiritual. So spiritual, a curse. Oh, interesting. A curse, Rhiannon. Thank you, Rock. A curse. Does she need to know who put the curse on her? Yes, her mom. Cursed. Your mom cursed you. At age 7. Your mom put a curse on you. You guys, a curse may be done unintentionally, but literally when you curse at your kids or you say things, and some parents they are wicked. They can say things and curses. They create curses. They create this energy. Thank you, Candace. So your mom cursed sickness. We need to know the emotion. That's what it is. What was the emotion that your mom was feeling when she did this to you? Age 1 through 10, 10 through 20, 20, 30, 34, 40, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Ooh, jealousy. Is this sounding right? Rhiannon, jealousy. So if a parent feels jealous towards their own child, okay, that emits a type of energy. You guys, I do not blame my abusers for the traumas that they put into my life, because I know they were dealing with their own traumas and trials, right? Broken people break and hurt people. Rhiannon, how you doing, Queen? So, Rhiannon, if you're listening, I want you to clear this curse that was placed on you when you were 7 years old. Oh. Am I on track, Rhiannon? Is this resonating? So I want you to, I command and clear this curse that was put on me at the age of 7, this jealousy, this rage. I command this to be cleared in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all times. This is not mine. I clear this curse from my body so that my body can be free from this jealousy, this poison that was put into my body. I remove it in all timelines, all dimensions, in all space. Oh, does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Generational from mom, from dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, multiple lifetimes from dad's side. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. 1 through 10, 10 through 20, 20 through 30, 30 through 40, 40 through 50, 50. I should have just asked if it was the back page. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Unworthy. So we worked with Rhiannon before and her symptoms went down and then a lot of them came back really quickly. So if you are in your 30s or 40s or 50s and you have lots of childhood trauma, emotional trauma, generational trauma, spiritual trauma, absorbed energy, you are going to go through a type of healing crisis because it's going to take time for your body to clear and integrate, clear and integrate, clear and integrate. Okay. So it took me over 15 years to get to where I'm at today, right? I had to clear the emotional trauma. I had lots of pain. I had lots of days where I did cry. I was sad. I was depressed. I did have anxiety because I didn't understand the keys. I didn't know how to clear these things. So it took me over 15 years, right, to clear. So trust that if you get these keys, you're going to clear. It's going to go to a 0. And then you're going to wake up. You're going to have more pain. Okay, the messenger is now going to start clearing all that baloney from years and years of pushed down, trapped emotional trauma, right? Belief systems, past lives, absorbed energy, spiritual warfare, right? It's all going to start surfacing. And so your body might go through a type of healing crisis, but just trust that sometimes it gets bad before it gets good. And you can test. You can test these keys. You can say, is my body integrating? Yes or no? Do I need to clear a key? Yes or no? Is there any more clearing I can do today? If your body says no, you're done. You just trust that your body knows what it needs to do. So you're going to clear generational. Did I already tell you what it was? I'm Heather. Front page, back page. 50 through 60. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Unsupported. So unsupported. Multiple energies of feeling unsupported, okay? Embedded into your DNA, into your epigenetics. And so you're going to command that to be cleared in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. I gave my mom your free guide. Should I stay away? That is going to be a personal question, Rhiannon. So I want you to sit with that. You can definitely set up spiritual boundaries, energetic boundaries. I had to do that with my dad. Like I set my own boundaries. I didn't tell him what my boundaries are because then that would piss him off and he'd be like, how dare you set boundaries? So I set energetic boundaries, spiritual boundaries. And then I also knew when I was in the presence of my dad that I wouldn't bring up certain conversations. And then if the energy felt like it was shifting, I would leave, right? That was my boundaries. Unfortunately, he passed away before I was able to rebuild my relationship with my dad, but boundaries are necessary. And that is very personal between you and the person you need to set boundaries with. So my rule of thumb now is if you don't respect me, I don't respect you. If you don't give equally, then you're not part of my life. Okay? If you talk behind my back or say mean things about me or say I'm not a good person or I'm a black, whatever, then I don't want you in my life. But there are times where there are broken people and they're trying. They're like, I'm trying, I'm sorry. Like I'm trying to be a better mom. Like those people I want in my life. Because yeah, they're going to mess up sometimes, but at least they're trying. But so you get to decide, Rhiannon, what that looks like. Then you have to set up terms and boundaries. So you guys, in my spiritual mastery course, we do that. You have to set terms and you have to set boundaries to your energy. Because if you don't, right, like Amber, she was a walking sponge. How many of you guys are walking people pleasers? And you just take and you take and you take, because that is charity. And that is what we're taught. We just love our neighbors. And God said he said, no, you don't do that. Okay. So we got to stop being sponges for everyone to just dump their crap on us. We have to set boundaries. You guys, I created a course. It's my Live Empowered course. Me and my friend Stephanie created it. We were going to charge $1,000 for it. Go take the free Live Empowered course. It's on my website, heatherashleyjones.com. Go to the courses. You have to learn how to set boundaries. Like, that is key number one. And so many people just don't know how to do that. You have to create safety in your body. You have to set boundaries. You have to have a vision of where you're going, or else you're a ship lost at sea. And I would say more than half of the world are little ships lost at sea. They're just floating around trying to figure out who they are, what their purpose is, what am I doing here? And all these storms just keep crashing their little boats and they're barely floating, okay? You have to have a vision so that the ship knows where to go, even in the storm, okay? So get my free guide. Yes. We are the first generation, people in their 40s, right? We're 30s, are the first generations to truly do no contact. Like 100% you're cut off. And it's becoming quite the thing. It's becoming very apparent that this generation, they're saying we don't have to put up with your bull crap. And just because you raised us doesn't mean you deserve a seat at our table. So that was a long tangent. Are we all still good? Rhiannon, how you doing, Queen? Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Past life. Is this one karma? Yeah, this one's karma. Does it have to do with relationships? Does it have to do with mother-daughter relationship? Oh, yep. Yep. So Rhiannon, I command and clear this karma, mother-daughter relationship karma that just keeps coming up in lifetimes. It's cleared now. I command it to be cleared. I've learned the lessons I need to learn. I understand the boundaries I need to make moving forward. I understand my role as a daughter, and I understand the role as a mother. Okay? I command that to be cleared and cleansed in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. And now I step forward in my truth of what a mother-daughter relationship looks like moving forward. Okay? Good morning. Oof. That's good, Rhiannon. That means you're clearing. So Rhiannon said her tummy and lungs are burning. Remember what I told you? There's lots of different ways of purging. Hot flashes, chills, throwing up, purging, crying. Thank you, Rock. How do I know the answer? Okay, so did you learn to test? Did you start practicing? Because once you get your yes and your no, that's how you know what the answer is. So which key? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it generational? Is it past life? Is it absorbed? So the number one thing that's so hard for people is to trust their intuition. Okay? But as you practice, you'll recognize that you'll get a yes and a no. You'll feel a certain way when it's a yes. Yes, purging is good. So I will work with people and they literally like burp, and then sometimes they'll literally like vomit. My son is one of those. He was 4 2 weeks ago. He like literally threw up in the living room and he was totally fine. He just threw up energy. You're welcome. Does Rhiannon have another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So you guys, I'm just keep asking. We're working with Rhiannon. Okay. So we're just doing the overall keys. Okay. We haven't even gotten to her insomnia. So we're just, her body's saying which key is next, which key is next, which key is next. We keep doing the keys until we ask, is there another key? And we get a no. That's how you know. So if you feel nauseous and can't vomit, that's okay. That's just the energy moving. So if you can't vomit, just breathe it out. Just do big, deep breaths and grounding breaths. Breathe in unconditional love. Breathe out the energy. I breathe out whatever's trying to come out of my body. Okay? And it kills me when I see people doing energy release, and it's like the painful massages. I love this lady. She I love watching her, but she literally digs into their leg and makes them say affirmations. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be like that. But for whatever reason, she was meant to help them heal and do that type of healing. I don't know why, but I call in people who don't want to heal through torture. Yeah, Candace, I see you, Queen. Love, get my free guide. Make sure you follow me. Get my free guide. Okay? I know what it feels like to have so much anger and rage in your body and you just want it to leave. Okay, absorbed energy. Does she need to know more? No. Does she need to know the emotion? Nope. So just clear that absorbed energy, Rhiannon. I just command this absorbed energy to be removed from my body. Does she need another key? Nope, that was it. So that must have just been residual absorbed energy attached to whatever this was. Yay, Candace. Hey, Amber, how you feeling, love? Nessa, it was super hard for me to cry too, honey. In fact, my dad used to beat the hell out of me and I wouldn't cry. But then he would just beat me harder and longer. And finally I would cry just so that he would stop. So it was more like, okay, I'm tired of him beating me. And then when I lost my son to a rare genetic disorder, I didn't truly grieve for a whole year. So you have to heal why you can't cry. And I bet you it stems from childhood trauma. Because it wasn't either safe to cry or you were made to feel weak if you cried, but there's definitely something tied to why you can't. And crying is the most powerful way to release. That's okay, Rhiannon. It is a lot. She's like, wow, I tried this last night and it was almost all the keys, but I must have gotten impatient. No, you did exactly what you needed to do. Yeah. So give yourself a little grace, Rhiannon. Okay. Is the pain that Amber's feeling now just physical? Yes. Does she need more clearing tonight? No. So tonight you just need integration, Amber. So lots of water, grounding. Like if you can put your feet outside in the dirt and hug a tree tomorrow, that will be so good for your body. Yeah, I was the problem child too. You weren't the problem child. You were just the child who knew how to be 100% authentically you. And because your parents weren't able to do that in their childhood, it made them very uncomfortable, right? And so they had to silence that. Whatever triggers you and your children is because a part of you needs to heal, right? Or a part of you didn't get to be that wild, loud person. So, whoops. Good. Yes, Amber. Perfect. Perfect. How is Summer doing? Rhiannon, how are you feeling? Vrock, I cried away so much grief and insecurity from my dad's side 5. Ooh, yes. Yeah, I had one big purge moment. It was when someone held sacred space for me and I was able to actually truly process the grief of my son and so much trauma. And I literally, because I was laying on a table, when I came up, my eyes were literally swollen shut and my face was just puffy from all of the crying. It was, but I felt so light. You will notice, you guys, people who do this work, you'll look younger. You'll feel lighter. You'll almost this radiance will just project out of you, this youthfulness, this lightness, this airiness. Because you can tell when people are really bogged down with traumas. You can just see it in their energy and their aura. It's just so heavy. But as you start clearing, it feels good and light. You can breathe for the first time. A lot of people who clear, it's I feel. Yes, Rhiannon. Yes, go do exactly what you need to do. So go for a walk, Queen. Thank you, Nessa. Thank you. Tell that to my gray streak. What was that for, Amber? Okay, so if you feel a little shaky in your tummy, yeah, Rhiannon. So just trust energy's moving. So if you need to throw up, that's good too. But just go for a walk and breathe, and just kind of move that energy around. Okay. Does Marcella have any more keys? Oh, yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Persecutions cross. Did we already do that one, Marcella? No, we didn't. We mostly cleared spiritual. So this one, if it's still left, it's persecutions cross. Sometimes I look younger than before, and other times I look... Yeah, definitely feels... So do I. If you came to my house, I look homeless most of this time. Okay, so Marcella, the persecutions cross. So again, you heard me clearing other people or tapping into that. You just need to command that this persecutions cross be cleared in all timelines, dimensions, and space. And then just see all of the lifetimes of being silenced for your truth, like coming to this very moment, this defining moment where you reclaim all of your power, all of your truth. Like commit to being fully seen and fully heard and stepping fully into your spiritual gifts. Hey, Candace. So if you click on my picture twice, my spiritual mastery course is linked in my bio. Thanks, Shelby. Yeah, and my free guide, my $27 guide, it's all linked in my bio. So that was a big one, Marcella. Thanks for reaching out because that was a big one. Okay. You're so welcome. You're welcome. Okay, you guys. So for those of you guys who have been watching, some of you guys have just joined. I'm going to repeat. We're going to go through the keys again. Hey, Tiffany, we're just about to go through the keys again. And then Shelby, you let me know when you have to hop off, Queen. Okay, perfect. So Rhiannon's going to let us know. All right, Queen. Yay, you're so welcome. Okay, so you guys, for those of you who guys are just jumping on, my name's Heather Jones. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher in the world. So I teach the 7 keys for free. You're so welcome, Amber. Oh, we love you, Queen. So you guys, I teach the 7 keys because a lot of you guys, if you've been feeling heavy, tired, triggered, overwhelmed, right, you're in the right place because what you're dealing with might not actually be physical, right? It's spiritual. And what I mean by that, hey, what I mean by that is you are not going to get lab results saying that what you're dealing with is actually generational trauma. Okay, Shelby, thanks, Queen. So you might be dealing with generational trauma. You might be dealing with emotional trauma. You might be dealing with something spiritual, okay? So what I'm trying to teach everyone, as many people as I can, is that you actually have been lied to. The day you were born, you have been told to silence your truth. And the truth is, you guys, is that when you silence your truth, you silence the messenger. And the messenger is just trying to tell you what you need to heal yourself. And so the 7 keys help you unlock the truth quicker. So when you connect with your intuition, okay, this is your gift that never lies. It always tells the truth with a 99.9% accuracy. Doctors and scientists, okay, chiropractors, they have figured this out. So why doesn't everybody know this? Because if we all knew that our bodies were instruments that could test with a 99.9% accuracy exactly what's wrong with us, the system would fall apart, okay? The system would fall apart overnight. So what does this look like? So this looks like when I have physical pain, that is the messenger telling me that something's wrong. And so what I used to do is run to the kitchen and grab a painkiller. But when I take a painkiller, it just pushes the messenger down. It silences the messenger. The messenger doesn't go away. Okay, the messenger gets louder and louder and louder and louder until you are finally dealing with 1010 pain, cancer, fibromyalgia, autoimmune disorder, chronic disease in the body, inflammation. And so now you go to the doctors and they do a bunch of labs, right? And they say nothing's wrong with you. You're fine. Because what you're actually dealing with, right, the root cause of your problem is not physical. So you guys, we're going to go through the 7 keys tonight. Suzanne, it could be, right? It could be, right? I do not diagnose or treat. on these lives, what I do is I teach you these keys for free so that you could know with a 99.9% accuracy what's wrong with you and how to heal yourself. So key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you, okay? Pain is a messenger. We have to stop silencing our truth. You guys, our truth is our intuition. And they've gaslighted us the day we were born. They knew if they got us to doubt ourselves, and that's the number one thing I deal with is people not trusting themselves. So I work with hundreds of people across the entire globe, right? And I teach them the same system that I've learned. That took me over 10 years, over $15,000 in certifications. And that's the same thing I get. I don't know. What if I'm wrong? I don't trust myself. I don't know. And that's exactly how you stay stuck and relying on external things to heal you, to treat you, because you will always be dependent on other people. But the second you learn this system, the second you learn this system, you guys can know exactly what is causing your pain. You can get to the root cause in literal seconds. So you guys, key number 2, it could be physical. Okay, it could be physical. I'm not saying that all of our problems are spiritual, but it's either going to be one or multiple heavy metals, toxins, or parasites. And your body will tell you exactly which heavy metal, which toxin, which parasite, and if there's multiple, your body will tell you how many. And then not only that, but your body will tell you what will help clear it from your body, 90 to 100%. And that's either going to be a food, a supplement, right? Or an emotional clearing. And your body will tell you. Because a lot of you guys have a whole bunch of products right now and they're a bunch of crap, right? They don't even work. And so you're doing parasite cleanses and detoxes and taking vitamins, and you don't even know if they're actually getting to the root cause of what you're trying to fix in your body. But what if there was a system that could not only tell you exactly what it was, but exactly what to take? And you guys, that is what I teach. That is what the truth code is. And my guide, that's $27, teaches you exactly which key to unlock, how to clear it, and to clear it with what. And it is so simple. It is so simple, you guys, that you'll be pissed off just like I was. I spent 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications. And after I spent another $1,000 in the certification, and I said, God, if she teaches, if she does this one thing, I know for a fact that my system that I'm going to create, that I'm launching, is the number one system in the entire world that people don't need all these certifications. And sure enough, she did. Sure enough, she got to this one section because I'm like, how does she know this? How does she know? How is she getting to the root cause of all of these people's problems like that? Because that's how she got me. If you're a Reiki master and all these things and have all these certifications, then you need to learn this one thing. And I was intrigued because I'm like, well, what is it? Because if it's what I'm teaching, then I know what it is. And it's exactly what I teach you. She knew how to tap into her intuition and to test yes or no. If you learn how to test yes or no, which is your intuition, which is your discernment, which is your connection to source. For me, it's God. For you, it might be something else. But for me, that discernment, they have proven this, can never lie. It always tells the truth. And it tests yes or no with a 99.9% accuracy. So what does that mean for you? That means that if you knew how powerful your intuition was, that you could ask and receive instantly the truth, yes or no, the whole entire healthcare system would collapse. Because not only would you know exactly what was wrong, you would know exactly how to heal it. With God's natural herbs, with supplements, with food. Okay? And so this is not something I made up. This is something that I spent over a decade learning, practicing, implementing. And when I saw miracles, literal miracles happening in hundreds of people's lives, miraculous healings, I was like, whoa. Like, I'm not anyone's savior. I'm not pretending to be a psychic or a medium or have all these, right? And there's a lot of people who do because they know the power of the intuition, right? I tap in with people with such precision because they gave me permission. Imagine how powerful this information is. Okay, imagine how powerful this information is if you knew you could test anything with a 99.9% accuracy. And not only that, you could do it for your friends and your family and your siblings and your children. So the 7 keys I teach for free. I give you every key. That took me 10 years, over 10 years to get access to because I embodied them. I lived through them. So first of all, I'm not someone who comes on here and teaches bull crap and is a pretender. So I lived through each key personally. The emotional trauma, okay? So that's the next key. If it's physical, we want to know which one, and we want to know what can clear at 100%, 90 to 100%. You guys, this is in my $27 guide. I teach you exactly all the charts, everything you need to know. So save yourself 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications, okay? It's a distraction. So key number 3, emotional trauma. If you have ever, yes, that's how I did it. Oh, so, see, Summer, the light bulb went off. She's like, oh, that's how you did it? Gave me permission. Yes. So in my $27 guide, I teach you exactly how to do this for other people, right? So Summer, we just worked with Summer, and I think she went from she did. She went from a 7 pain to a 0 pain in literal minutes. How was I able to tap in? Because she gave me permission. But I did not heal her. I did not heal her. She healed herself. Okay? She asked and received. Ask and you shall receive. Ask for healing, you shall receive it. Okay? It's so simple. It's so simple and easy, you guys. It is so freaking simple and easy. Okay? You get your intuition that tests yes or no. How do you get your yes and no? Well, I teach you in my free guide, but I also teach you a fast way in my $27 guide. Once you have your intuition, you test. Okay, first of all, key number 1, what's the problem? Is it a money block? Is it a relationship block? Is it pain in your body? Right, your body speaks to you, and it doesn't have to be pain. It could be a painful experience. It could be a painful relationship. It could be painful when you look in your bank account. Okay, that is key number 1. Key number 2, it could be physical. It could be emotional trauma. Okay, what is emotional trauma? If you have ever, from the ages of 0 to 25, because this is when our brains are developing, experienced sexual trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, religious trauma, spiritual trauma, if you have ever experienced any of those traumas, which I know you have, because we have come to this earth to experience trauma and trials. That is our hashtag training. Can we set it all on fire? Oh, I think it's burning already. I think there's massive awakening and things are shifting and the corruption is being put on fire. There's a lot of people who are waking up and they're pissed, okay? And they're taking ownership of their lives. So if you want to set the world on fire, share my free guide and share this live, and let's wake up as many people as we can, because the more we reclaim our power, you guys, that's what I teach. You are a fire. The second you spark your fire and you shine your light so bright, it gives other people permission to do the same thing. That's the fire we create. We create the fire through ascension and through taking complete ownership, okay? So if you have ever experienced trauma, okay, I did when I was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, okay, physical trauma, okay? My dad was very physically abusive with us. I experienced sexual trauma. My mom left the house when I was 6 years old. So I had the responsibility of being a mother at 6 years old, okay? Being a caretaker at 6 years old. Being exposed to and experiencing sexual trauma at 7 years old. Being physically abused. I created these belief systems about myself. Can you relate? Awesome, Melanie, yeah. So what happens as a child is you do not have the mental capacity. Blessed Gamma, does this differ from muscle testing? Muscle testing is a great way to get your yes and no. So I'm certified in kinesiology, muscle testing. It was too hard for me to figure out. So in my free guide, I do teach you the body sway test. Okay, but that takes too long for me. So I learned a program in Germany to get your yes and your no, and it's so incredibly easy. I can do it. And that says a lot, especially for people who are very conscious in your mind and you're like, oh, did I get that yes? Did I make that a yes or did I make that a no? Like you doubt yourself a lot. This other system helps you to not doubt yourself, right? So you guys, as a little child, I created belief systems about myself. If you have never gone back to that little person, yes, this can be done virtually. This can be done anywhere across the world. I work with people in Africa and Europe and the UK and Australia, right? We're all connected energetically. So when you do this for other people, it's instant, but you have to have permission. So as a child, if you have experienced traumas and you have not gone back to that little girl, I'm not telling you to go back to the trauma. That's the last thing I want you to do. And that's what traditional therapy does. It keeps bringing up the trauma. Your body doesn't know the difference between seeing it in your mind and physically experiencing it. So there are men and women who are getting raped hundreds of times a day because they're reliving those experiences in their mind. So what I teach is you just need to go back to that little person. I've experienced traditional therapy. So in my personal experiences, I'll say that in my personal experiences with my own personal therapist, they kept trying to have me go back. So not all therapists teach the same thing, right? Everyone has their own process, EMDR, right? What I'm saying is that you do not have to go through years and years of therapy to heal yourself. You don't. If you've been going to therapy for longer than 6 months, you don't need to. Okay? So, that's okay. The 7 keys teach you exactly how to get to the root cause of your trauma in literal seconds. Once you get the message, right? We do not spiritually bypass. We have to learn through the traumas and trials what we're here to learn. So if you experienced childhood trauma in any form, all I'm saying is you do not have to go relive that experience over and over and over again. And if you haven't gone to that little girl or that little boy and told them the truth about that experience, that little girl and that little boy is still broken. And so I have taken way too many people who have been sexually traumatized who are still have that broken little girl inside of them. And the problem is every time you silence your truth, you actually put out a part of your light. That's hiding your light under a bushel. And eventually you will sacrifice your silence to keep your abusers, right, happy, because we don't want to destroy the peace in the family. We don't want to say our truth, right? We have to keep the peace. But when you keep the peace, you silence your truth. And when you silence your truth, you put a little part of your light out. And you keep putting more and more in your light out. And then you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you have extreme chronic conditions. Cancer, Hashimoto's, autoimmune disorders, rheumatoid arthritis, right? The list goes on. And I literally work with people who their lights are literally almost burnt out because they have silenced their truth so much. They hid their light so much that their body is literally dying. So what I do is I teach people, you have to stop silencing your truth. You have to stop silencing your truth. The second that you stop silencing your truth, you will start healing yourself. Okay? And there's ways that you can do it faster and safer. Okay? You don't have to relive your traumas. You don't. You just don't. That's a lie. Okay? How do you know if you have an emotional trauma? You test. How do you test? You get your yes and no. Okay? So, key number 1, we're going to ask, is this physical pain that I have, is it physical? Is it, which one? Is it a parasite, a toxin, a heavy metal? How many? What do I need to take to clear it at the root cause? Your body will tell you with a 99.9% accuracy. Is it emotional? Which one? Do I need to know more, right? You have to learn how to become an investigator with these keys. Children know exactly how to do this, right? Children know how to ask a million questions till they get to the answer. We have to remember how to do that, okay? So let's go to the next key. Ooh, yes, Rock. I'm so excited for you to learn the quicker method. Yeah. So the next key is, you guys, and get the guides and follow along. Come on my lives and practice with me, because repetition is key. Repetition is key. I want you to be able to just list the keys off like this, get your yes and no, and get to the root cause of your problems quick. Okay, so the next key is generational trauma. Do you know they have proven that generational trauma is real, and they have proven it through epigenetics, right? You can have fears, phobias, sicknesses, and diseases passed down from generations. So I bet you if you go to the doctor, they're not going to test you for generational trauma, right? Even though it's been scientifically proven that you could have something generational. So how do you know? You get your yes and no. You use the 7 keys. You ask, is it generational? If you get a yes, boom. Okay. So we're going to go deeper. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Do you guys, generational can be from mom or dad, and it could be multiple generations back. And then I'm going to keep asking the messenger. You guys, the messenger is just your body, your intuition speaking to you. Okay. But when you silence the messenger, it doesn't go away. It just gets louder. Okay. And it shows up in painful ways. The second you allow the messenger to speak, the pain goes away. So I keep asking the messenger, do I need to know more? Do I need to know more? Until she says no. The second my messenger says nope, she leaves, and then the pain goes away. But then there might be another key. I'm going to ask, is there another key? Because you could have multiple keys attached to the same pain. If she says no, then I'm good to go. And then I'm just going to trust that my body's going to integrate and take my pain down to a 0. So I've literally seen people go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 pain in literal minutes from one key, from one absorbed energy, from one generational trauma, from one trapped emotion. Okay? So let's go to the next key. Okay, absorbed energy. Thanks, Natasha. So where are my empaths at? Where are my empaths that can feel energy? You take on energy. You can go anywhere. It's like it's always there. It's exhausting. Yeah. So much energy, you guys. And I hate to say it, but a lot of you guys who are empaths, who feel energy, it's because of your traumas as children. You were taught to be totally aware of the shift in energy, right? For protection. Yeah. Right? Because we were usually in very volatile situations as children, parents fighting or toxic energy. So we had to be aware for protection. Do I need to leave? Are they going to attack me? Are they going to hurt me? Right? So we are very good at reading energies. Yeah. But here's the truth. I want to teach you guys quantum entanglement. Okay. Who's familiar with quantum entanglement? Okay. I used to hear that and I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? So quantum entanglement is like energetic entanglements, right? So when I'm specifically speaking of absorbed energies, I'm speaking of this. When you go into a room with someone, our energies are bouncing off of each other, right? That's why you feel the ick sometimes when someone comes in. You're like, you automatically feel their energies off. We could feel their energy. We're absorbing their energy. But after about 20 minutes sitting next to someone, our energies are intertwined. They are connected. But then when they leave and you leave, sometimes what happens is you leave with some of their energy. And you're like, oh, why am I so exhausted? Why am I so tired? Why do I feel this pain in my chest? Why do I feel pain in my stomach? Right? You could have absorbed someone's energy. So what I do, because I have the keys, the second I feel any pain, you guys, the second I feel any pain, I go to my keys. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, absorbed? The second I get absorbed, I know it's not my energy. I know that I took on someone's energy. And so guess what I do? I clear it. This is not my energy. I send it back to sender. And within literal seconds, guess what? My pain is gone. So imagine being an empath, a sponge, since you're a little child. And now you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s. And you're dealing with so much pain. And you're like, I wonder where it's coming from. It could be absorbed energy. How do you clear it? Well, first you got to know what it is, right? So if I test yes to absorbed energy, all I do is I command this energy to leave my body. I breathe in unconditional love and I breathe it out. There's several ways to clear energy. You can cry, some people throw up, Some people dance, some people scream, right? Some people color. There's so many ways to process. That's why you have to start tapping back into your intuition. Children naturally know how to move energy. They have full-on temper tantrums, right? They scream, they yell, they dance, they cry. So we have to go back into a place where we know and trust that our bodies know exactly how to release. But first, you have to know to test. Yeah, shake it off. Shake it off. You could totally do that, right? But there is power in your words. So all you have to do is command it to leave. And you can command it to leave in Jesus' name. You could just command it to leave in light and love, right? Cancer would be included in the keys, right? So you can ask, is there emotional trauma that was attached to that? I would say most, if not all, holistic practitioners say yes, that the C word started out as emotion, some type of energy that wasn't cleared. That energy creates a deficiency in the body. That deficiency attracts then maybe parasites or toxins or heavy metals, and then it just develops over time into this big thing. So it's different for every person, but when you have the 7 keys, you're going to ask what's first priority to clear the C word. Is it physical, emotional? I will say a lot of the emotional trauma or a lot of the things that I've been dealing with, people with cancer lately, I've been doing one-on-one sessions, and I will say that every single one of my patients have dealt with some type of sexual trauma or physical trauma, okay, and childhood. What about little babies who get it, right? They didn't do anything wrong. That's where epigenetics comes in, generational trauma that's passed down into the womb, okay? So what if you don't know what's wrong with you? Then you would start with the keys. What's wrong with me? Show me the first key to unlock my truth, okay? And the keys never lie. The keys know exactly where you need to go to unlock your truth. Why? Because it's connected to your intuition. Your intuition is your gift from God that never lies, always tells the truth with a 99.9% accuracy, and it is connected to source. So the 7 keys are just the gateways. So I spent over $15,000 in over 10 years just learning the keys. And I give you the keys for free because I experienced each key, okay? And then all of my certifications, I realized there is this reoccurring pattern. So I got certified in, quantum healing hypnosis therapy and NLP hypnosis. And that was a really big, huge, elaborate process when all I have to ask is which key. Can I clear it? Yes. Do I need to know more? Yes or no? If I don't, I clear it from my body. I'm that type of person. I want it quick and fast and done. Yep, same for nerve pain. Anything that you are dealing with, you all have intuition, I promise. The problem is that you've been gaslit for so long that your intuition has been silenced, right? You've silenced your truth for so long, you don't even trust yourself. That is the number one thing that I deal with people is that I don't trust myself. I don't know. Is it anxiety? Is it depression? Is it my intuition? I don't know. Was it a message from God or was it just my own crazy feeling? So how you can quickly tap back into your intuition is by start using the system I teach you how to get a yes or no. And over time, as you start practicing, you will recognize that the same thing, that same feeling, the same thing you see or hear or taste, it depends on what your spiritual gifts are, but that same feeling will happen every time it's a yes. And then that same sense will happen every time it's a no. And so now as I use my testing, right? My intuition is first confirmation, and then my intuitive testing is second confirmation. And then sometimes because I could test really fast, I'll test and it feels off. Like, ooh, that doesn't feel right. So then I'll go back and I'll ground and I'll get clear. And then I'll ask again, right? To confirm, because I have such a good connection with my body now and source. I've set terms and boundaries. So nothing can come into my being with there's no distortion. I've already consecrated my body. I've consecrated my space, and my connection is so pure that I know intuitively that nothing will come in unless it's for my highest and greatest good. And you can do that too. so that as you're developing this relationship back with yourself, with your intuition, it's going to become so solid that you'll never be gaslit again. You'll know exactly what your pain is. And then when anyone tries to make you feel or act a certain way, you're like, bye. Yes, this is all in my advanced intuitive testing guide. So I have other books. So in my Becoming God's Daughter, A Journey to Discovering Your Divine Worth, that is more about stories of overcoming emotional trauma, physical abuse, sexual abuse, overcoming child loss. Like, that book is all about overcoming. Cut the Crap is all about for business people who want to start a business. Like, that one is straight to the point, how to stop self-sabotaging. So my $27 guide, that is for people who want to learn the 7 keys. They want to learn how to do this for their friends, for their family, for their children. Is this why I'm constantly anxious? It could be. You could know exactly, though. Okay? Okay, so the name of my book is called Becoming God's Daughter, A Journey to Discovering Your Divine Worth. That's on Amazon. And then my book, Cut the Crap, is on Amazon too. Yeah, so Rock doesn't have a lot of memory before age 7. And you guys, a lot of times our memory is blocked for protection. Okay, so if you've experienced horrific emotional or sexual trauma as a child, sometimes you'll have no memory of that because your body put it away till you create a safe environment for you to process that. And so my husband had no memory. Oh yeah, a lot of you guys have 0 memory. Yeah. So here's the truth I want to tell you. You can start using the 7 keys and tapping into your intuition and start clearing things. First priority, second priority. So the books are on Amazon. So Becoming God's Daughter is on Amazon. So if you search up books by Heather Ashley Jones, if you go to my website, heatherashleyjones.com too, you can see my book there too. But yeah, so my husband, you guys, he would always tell me, I have no memory before the age of 7, like none. And like me, thank you, Allie, I knew it was because he experienced some type of trauma that his body blocked out. Like, talk to anyone, especially an SA or ritualistic or any type of those things. They usually have no memory. And then in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they have these like massive flashbacks. And sometimes it puts people into psychosis or into the hospital because it's so bad. But I want to tell you that you can create boundaries and create safety in your body. And you can do that by start practicing intuition, start practicing these 7 keys so you can start releasing and healing those parts of you. I do have a free course. It's called the Live Empowered course. Go to heatherashleyjones.com. If you've never done personal development, you guys start there. Start developing your boundaries and creating safety in your body. And then as you use these 7 keys, you're going to know. So we worked on Patty today. No memory from 7 either. And then we asked which key she needs to know first. And it was emotional. That something happened at age 3. Okay. Now here's the thing. We didn't need to know exactly what happened. Her body just said it was something at age 3. She took on worry. And then she also had a demonic entity attached at that time. Okay. So in my keys, I teach the spiritual key because I experienced demonic entities when I was a child. I saw them with my own eyes. I felt them. Okay. I was physically attacked. So I believe in the scriptures when Jesus cast demonic entities out and put them into swine. I believe when Jesus taught Peter, James, and John to fast, that you had to fast before casting things out. So I believe those things because I experienced them as a child. And I knew they weren't just parables or, they were literal true stories. And even in the Gospel of Essene, Jesus talks about cleansing parasites from your body. That was taken out of the Bible. And he teaches you how to cleanse parasites, which have forms of demonic entities attached to them. So anyways, the truth is that you guys can create safety in your body, and you can know why that block happened, but you don't have to experience the horrific trauma of it in order to heal it. Does that make sense? It's not on audiobook yet. I'm sorry, but it's a quick read. It's like an hour and a half read if you just sat down and read it. So that's that key, you guys. We talked about the generational trauma. We talked about absorbed energy, the spiritual key, right? There's two sides of the spiritual key. There's ascension and integration. And then there's the stuff that they portray in movies like demonic entities, curses, hexes, familiars, fiery darts of the adversary. So there's those things. Now, if you don't believe in those things or you haven't experienced those things, it doesn't mean these keys won't work. So the truth is that you have power over them. And Jesus even said that too. So if I test yes for the spiritual key, I keep asking if I need to know more, because you might need to get to the emotion attached to it. You might need to get to the moment it happened. Like, when did this energy show up in my life? Right? But the second that your body says you don't need to know more, you just clear it. I command this energy, whatever it is, to be cleared from my body in all timelines, dimension, and space. Yeah. Yeah, look at all these people that experience their own different types of spiritual warfare. And a lot of times, you guys, it does happen more often with children. But the thing is it's not talked about because children see scary monsters in their room, right? They show that in movies. Mom, there's a monster under my bed. And then we just attach it to they're seeing things, or it's just their imagination. But I am here to tell you, it is not their imagination, okay? In most cases. And so if you do have a child who sees things, just clear their room, right? Just do them a favor, clear their room. But a lot of times, you guys, we actually block out that spiritual gift of seeing because it's so terrifying. But then something happens, like in our 30s and 40s, and we start seeing things again. Because as I started diving more into my spiritual practice, as I started diving more into my spiritual gifts, that's when I started seeing them again. But this time I had power. This time I knew that you can't affect me or hurt me. And I was like, bye, I'm a queen. You don't get to be in my energy. Like, Jesus is my brother. God is my father. Bye, right? Okay, so I'm scared when people that have passed come to me and talk or do things. So you guys, I do teach a spiritual mastery course because some people are meant, right, to have different gifts. So I do believe in mediumship and psychic and these spiritual gifts. But I also believe we have to set terms and boundaries to our spiritual antenna, to our aura. And so if you've ever watched the movie Insidious, right, this little boy was gifted and he didn't set terms and boundaries to his body. So when he left his body, he was a light, right? And all these things saw his light. It was like his antenna. It's like his antenna got turned on. And so we have this beautiful spiritual antenna, okay? And a lot of times we don't set boundaries to our spiritual antenna. That's why scripture teaches us to consecrate our space, to consecrate our energy. So I have consecrated, and I teach this in more depth in my spiritual mastery course. I am consecrated to source, to God. Nothing of 90 to 100% of light is allowed to see me or mess with me. But what happens is if you have these spiritual gifts and they become activated, it's like turning on the radio station and everything can hear you. It's like everybody gets a signal and they all come rushing in. And that's what happens when people go through psychosis. They do see things. They do hear things. They do get physically attacked. But instead of helping them, we mass medicate them. The medications just silence their spiritual gifts. And then as they start coming off these medications, they go psychotic again. They start seeing and hearing things again. But it's because they still haven't set terms to their spiritual antenna. So their antenna is still online to everything. The good, the bad, the scary. Does this make sense? So yeah, you have to put your hat on. No, you have to just set terms to your radio frequency, right? So when I tune into a radio station, when people turn into my radio station, right, it's only those of the light. And then everything else, they just can't come into my boundaries, okay? So we've gone through most all keys. There's one more key. You guys, I give you the keys for free. When you have intuition and you can test, if you test spiritual, right? You could know exactly what it is. But there's also an upside to the spiritual key. So how many of you guys have been dealing with massive fatigue, ringing in the ears? Yes, you can 100% tune into what you want to. So who's been dealing with ringing in the ears? Like bad, you guys. Feeling like you've been swimming underwater. Yeah. Yeah, I've been sleeping a ton. Like 4 hours and I'm still exhausted. So you guys, if you are not aware, right? Who of you guys are familiar with the Schumann resonance? The Earth's frequency, right? She has been shifting and she has been shooting massive amounts of energy. You guys, we are energy and we're feeling that. Our bodies are integrating and ascending. That's good. My ringing in the ears have slowed down just this last week. Before then, it was like constant. Yeah. So not only are we getting the earth's rays, but we're getting the sun's rays, and our bodies are integrating. Okay? Yay, I'm so glad you got my book, Queen. So integration, ascension, mimics pain. So you can have ringing in the ears, you can be tired and fatigued, feel like you're swimming underwater, and you're like, what's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me. But really all it is integration. So when I test spiritual and I test integration, ascension, then I know that I need to give my body a little grace. I need to eat clean, drink water, hug a tree, put my feet in the dirt. Okay? And then I've worked with some people who they're having so much massive ascension integration symptoms that they have to work. Their job is like labor. And they're like, I'm so tired. I'm sleeping every day. Like I'm not used to not having energy. Like there's something wrong with me. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you, right? You just have to give your body a little rest and this will pass. Yeah. Grounding is so important. So when I test that I'm integrating, then I don't give myself a bad time for needing to take a 4-hour nap, right? I don't give myself a bad time that I'm not doing a million things, because that's part of my conditioning as a child, that if I'm not doing constantly, then I'm not of service, and then I'm not good, and then I won't make money. Like that's a false mindset to be a worker bee, right? So if I'm not working and doing and cleaning and making and like I think I have ADHD too, and then it's really hard for me to just sit down and take a nap. And then when I do take a nap, it's like I almost shame myself. Like, what are you doing? You should have done the laundry and you should have cooked dinner and you're a bad mom. And so integration is teaching us to slow us down. So you can get the keys for free in my free guide. So just double click my picture. Here's my water. And then there's a link in my bio. I will not be on. No, I will be on. No, I won't be on tomorrow. Maybe I will during the day. Yeah. It's horrible. So this guy that I was working with, he is going through a massive awakening, and he's a laborer, right? He does yard work and cleans, and he has to work, and his body is just shut down. And he's like, there's something wrong with me. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you. Your body is forcing you to shut down, to slow down, to integrate. And so that is the spiritual key. So you could know, right? It might not be something. Maybe it is a nutrient deficiency or a toxin, or maybe it is an emotional trauma, but you can know exactly what it is. So you guys, the last key is past lives. So this key was really hard for me because I grew up very, very, very strict with religion. Oh yes, you're still here. Yeah, we'll do you after. So after we go through the keys, we'll do you. You've been here for a long time. So you guys, I had this massive chest pain, and I didn't know what it was from. I had some of the keys, right? I learned to listen to the messenger. And so I felt like my ribs were crushing in. I asked my body, what was this? My body said, it's not from this lifetime. I was like, what does that mean? I'm very, very hard-headed. I waited a couple more days and asked again, what is this? My body told me again, it's not from this lifetime. So I was like, okay. So I went on YouTube. I found a past life regression meditation. I did it. I saw myself as a redheaded princess in a castle, knowing that I was being treated less than a dog, knowing I had all these spiritual gifts and I was being silenced. I was worth nothing because I was a woman. All right, Shelby. Thank you so much, love. Thank you, Queen. Shelby's the one that's been answering everyone's questions. I could not do it without her, seriously. So you guys, I did this session and I came out of it and I was like, wow, what was that? Like I still had the chest pain. I didn't understand what just happened, but I knew that I had an experience, right? So I met with a friend who did a type of energy work. And I didn't tell her anything. She did a session and I told her, I said, I think after about 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, I think I believe in multiple lives. And she's like, oh, good. So do I. And she proceeded to tell me, I see a little redheaded girl running through the fields. And the second she said a redheaded little girl, you guys, it was like fire, a lightning bolt in through my whole body. And I knew that what she spoke was truth and that pain in my chest went away. In literal minutes, the chest pain was completely gone. And so since then, I have helped hundreds of women across the world clear the persecutions cross. I certified in a type of healing modality, right? Quantum healing hypnosis therapy, if anyone's familiar with Dolores Cannon. But that would take 3 to 4 hours in one session. And we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. So now if you have the 7 keys, you test past life. Do I need to know more? Yes or no? And you clear it. It's as easy as that. Okay? So that's why I teach these keys. Yes, you can go get certified in quantum healing hypnosis therapy. Yes, you can get certified in past life meditation regression. Yes, you can get certified in NLP hypnosis. Okay, I did it. And I'm telling you, you don't need to do that. You just need the messenger, your intuition, to tell you which key will unlock truth. And then the messenger will teach you. Okay? Okay, so if you guys haven't already, make sure you get my free guide. In my free guide, I list the 7 keys. I teach you a method to get a yes or no. It uses your whole entire body. Okay, in my $27 guide, I teach you the fastest way to get a yes or no, the easiest way to get a yes or no. How do I know it's easy? Because I tried all the methods and I couldn't figure it out. And it's so easy, my kids can do it. And so this method teaches you how to get a yes or no. It bypasses the conscious mind where you're like, I don't know. So you can get your yes and no. And after you start practicing the yes and the no, you're going to start feeling a certain way when it's a yes and feeling a certain way when it's a no. And this is your intuition. This will be a remembrance of the 7 keys. This will be a remembrance of that gift. And it's the most powerful thing. I have so many, I don't know. What do you mean? Okay, so you don't have to know what the persecutions cross is. You just have to know that you could be experiencing physical pain and it's not from this lifetime. Thank you, dear Prita. You could be experiencing being tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, chronic pain, chronic inflammation, and it's spiritual. It could be an emotional trauma. It could be generational trauma. It could be absorbed energy. It could be a past life. So you have so many keys. So you always start with show me the first key. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual? Once you clear the key, then you ask, is there another key? Is there another key? You could have multiple keys attached to the same pain. So we are going to do, my beautiful friend, Zygorta Pet. And so I'm going to show you how these 7 keys work because it is so stupid simple, you guys. They have intentionally tried to make healing yourselves and they tried to make this information so crazy and out there. And it's so simple. It is so simple. So are you here? Hold on, let me just tag her so that we can start working on her. There you are. Boop. Okay, so we are going to be working on Zagorka. Okay. First, I have to ask, do I have permission? Okay. I have to have permission to be able to tap in. Second, I am not doing any healing on here. I'm not your savior. I'm not your psychic. I'm not your medium. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm teaching you how to use these keys for yourself because the truth is this is what God intended, right? He said, do not seek external, right? Everything is within here. The kingdom of God is within you, right? The light, the source of all truth and information is in here, okay? It cannot lie. It always tells the truth, and it will test with a 99.9% accuracy. So as I test Zagorka, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, I'm using that intuition and connection, and I've already consecrated my space for the highest and greatest good. So everything I get, I know is truth to a 99.9% accuracy. So you're going to see miracles as you do this work. And Shelby, I'm going to hop off at 11:30, so I'm getting drained. Okay, so Zygot, I have permission. We're going to ask, what is the first key that will unlock the healing? Okay, what is the first key that will unlock the healing? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life? It's absorbed. Okay. And you guys, I am putting these videos on YouTube, so I'm a little backed up. So if I've done a healing for you or held space, then it's going to be on YouTube. Okay. So absorbed energy. Does she need to know more? Yes. Did she absorb it from mom, from dad? So you absorb this energy from dad, and we need to know what the absorbed energy is. Back page. 50 through 60. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Love unreceived. Is she still here? I want to make sure she's still here. I haven't seen her pop up. I wish you could see if people are here. Zagorka, are you still here? She's still here. Yeah, okay. So absorbed energy, love unreceived from her dad. So does she need to know more? So this is how it works, you guys. When you tap into a key, you're literally asking the messenger, what do you need? So the messenger is going to say, oh, it's absorbed energy. Okay. Do I need to know more? Yes or no? If the messenger says yes, I'm not going to silence the messenger and send her away and just try to clear this. I'm going to let her finish speaking. So when she says yes, there's more, I'm going to keep getting. All right, Brock, love you. Okay, I will definitely check my messages tomorrow. So once the messenger is done speaking and she says, nope, there's no more, then we can clear it and then we can ask, is there another key? Because what some people are doing is they're saying, is it physical? Yes. Is it emotional? Yes. Is it generational? Yes. They're like, it's all the keys. I don't even know where to start. That's not how you do it. You start with the first key, you get a yes. Clear the key all the way till the messenger said there's nothing more you need to know about this key. Ask again. It might be 2 physical keys. It might be 2 emotional traumas. It might be 2 demonic entities. It might be 2, right? So you just keep asking, clear the key. Does she need to know more? Nope. So she can clear that. Okay. Is there another key? Nope. So for her, there was just one absorbed energy, love unreceived from dad. And I don't think she's here, which is unfortunate because she was waited for so long. Okay. So if there are... Okay, so the first 2 people who say that they're pain level and I give you permission is I'll be able to do you too. Oh, you are here. Okay. So Zagorka, how does that feel? What is the pain? And then the next 2 will be able to do you. So just say what your pain level is and I give you permission. Like pain 1010, here, I give you permission. Okay, Mary Ann. Okay, beach bum. Okay, so I got my 2. If I didn't get you guys, make sure you're following me. Get my free guide because I teach you exactly how to do this. Okay? Okay, my pain is like a 5. I give you permission. So Zagorka, so what I did is I tapped in. It is absorbed energy from your dad, love unreceived. So how do you release, you guys? How do you release these trapped anything in your body? So this is the fastest way. So I literally have been certified way too many. Okay, NLP, hypnosis, quantum healing, hypnosis therapy, Reiki, human design, inner wise, emotion code, theta, like you name it, I've probably done it. And everyone has their own system for releasing. But what I have seen working with hundreds of people across the globe is holding sacred space, breathing in unconditional love, and then breathing out the pain. And then trusting, holding space for your body to release however it feels called. If that's throwing up, sweating, having the chills, okay? allowing the energy to come up fully and be released from the body. So that is what everyone who's clearing is going to do. Okay? In fear. So Zakra, how are you doing? So I see you put in fear. So this love unreceived was from your dad that you absorbed. I'm Heather. Does she need another key? Okay. Okay, love unreceived. So you're going to just hold sacred space and then I command that love unreceived, that's not mine, to leave my body now. And then you just allow through breath that to leave your body. So Zygor does need, okay. And that should drop you down to a 0. Okay, Mary Ann, are you here? I'm going to pin you and then we're going to do Mary Ann. And so you guys, my $27 guide, it teaches you everything you need to learn. Everything you need to know how to do this for yourself and other people. It is so simple and so easy. The number one problem you're going to have is trusting yourself. But as you learn that trust in yourself, like, you will become so freaking unstoppable. Nobody can gaslight you or hurt you. It's just impossible. Yes, if you're in the UK, you can still buy it. It is a digital download, so it goes straight to your email. Make sure you guys check your spam, because lately it's been dropping in the spam. Okay, so Mary Ann, I have permission. Yes. We're going to ask which key. Okay, which key will unlock her pain? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So the first key is absorbed. Okay, does she need to know more? Yes or no? Does she need to know more? Nope. So if you don't need to know more, you just command it to be cleared. Is being nauseous? Okay, yep, being nauseous, allow that to come out fully. So if you need to throw up or purge, that's just the way the energy is coming out. And then let us know as that drops down. If you get stuck at a number, let me know. How did I know? Because I tested. Yes or no. This is what I teach you in my free guide. Okay, I teach you a way. The way that I do, I teach you in my $27 guide. The way that I've learned is how to get a yes or no in literal seconds. And it's so stupid easy, my kids can do it. Okay, so Marianne. Okay, absorbed energy. I tested which key will unlock her truth. I got absorbed. Does she need to know more? No. So she's just going to command that absorbed energy that's not hers to leave her body. Then I'm going to ask, is there another key? Yes. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational? I got past life. So it's past life. Does she need to know more? Yes. Is it the persecutions cross? Yes. So you guys, the persecutions cross, if you're not familiar with past lives, the persecution cross is it's almost like, how do I say this? It is for people who've been silenced in multiple lifetimes speaking truth. Like, lifetime after lifetime, you were speaking truth and you got silenced. And so in this lifetime, you are being called to take all those lives and to bring them into this one defining moment. It's like the phoenix rising. Have you guys been seeing that lately? And so you are literally bringing all those lifetimes together, and it's like the phoenix coming through the ash. And you guys, the ashes are part of this life too. So you have not come to this life with a silver spoon in your mouth. It has been trauma, trauma, trauma. Okay? So Marianne, I don't even have to know you to know that you've experienced either physical or sexual trauma, both. Because those were your traumas, and your trials, you guys, are your training. Yeah. And so I experienced those things to prepare me to bring all those lifetimes in this one moment, to just, you become the phoenix rising. You take all of those traumas and those trials, those pains, the silencing, and you destroy them now, Marianne. You command that, I command this persecution's cross from all these lifetimes to come together now and to be healed. And that in this moment now, I promise to step into my spiritual gifts, to be fully seen, to be fully heard. And you guys, I'm calling in a lot of women to clear this persecution's cross. And it is women who've gone through horrific traumas and trials. right? It is time to be seen and it is time to be heard, because there is something about someone who has been through the trauma to share their light and say, you can be free. Natasha, I know for a fact, is something spiritual. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed. Yeah. So if you are carrying, have no pain, are you down to a 0 pain, Zagorka? That is incredible. So you guys, this is why I teach the keys for free, because Zagorka went down to a 0 pain in literal minutes, clearing 1 absorbed energy. She did it, not me. Okay? She did it. 1 absorbed energy, love unreceived from dad. So I'm telling you, if you are dealing with pain and doctors are not giving you any answers, it's because they cannot test spiritual things. So if you have not already and you are dealing with pain, you guys start by taking accountability and get my free guide. Make sure you are following me and you don't lose me, because I teach these keys every night, and do it with me, right? Repetition is key. Learn these things. Let's do it together. Jump on my live, practice. Okay? Marianne, how are you feeling with that persecution's cross? So this is how I clear, right? I've already told you, but I command this persecution's cross to be cleared in all dimensions, all timelines, and all space. And then you guys, when it comes to healing yourself, you want to see yourself. This is what I learned in theta healing. You want to see yourself being healed. You want to witness the healing. Okay? Yay, Marianne. So does Marianne need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again. Does she need to know more this time? Yes. For mom, dad, brother, sister. Do you have a sister, Marianne? Sally. Yeah, so this winter solstice and this new fire horse is pushing everything up, because we're not going into the next year with old patterns. It's like coming to the surface. So if you found me, it was intentional, because you need these keys, right? God is calling you to learn to empower yourself and to stop seeking external validation for your healing. Hi, Terry. Welcome. Okay, so Marianne, do you have a sister? Are you still here, Marianne? And then we're going to do beach bum. Yeah, so you can find the keys in my free guide. If you want to learn exactly how I test yes or no in seconds and can clear my 10-10 pain to a 0 in literal minutes, then you'll want the $27 guide. And so everything's linked in my bio. Yay, beach bum. All right, beach bum, let's go, because I think Marianne might have hopped off. I think she thought I might have been dead. Okay, so beach bum. So this is exactly how I do it for other people. First, I ask if I have permission. I got a yes. Heck yeah, I believe that. She said, I popped up my TikTok and you popped up first. So in my spiritual mastery course, you guys, I teach you how to turn on your spiritual antenna so that you start attracting your tribe. How many of you guys are just craving your tribe? People who get it, people who think like you, people who talk like you, people who want to better their lives, people who know that there's spiritual things happening, right? Who are awake. So that's what my spiritual mastery course is. It helps you awake fully, step into your spiritual gifts fully, right? Learn these keys, certify in these keys. Because now's the time, you guys. It's time for you to call in your wealth too. So we're going to work on beach bum. I have permission. What's the first key? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So the first key is absorbed. Does she need to know more? Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Another healer in the group. So I'm not a healer per se. I am a fire. So I help awaken women and men and help them remember who they are and remember and activate their own spiritual gifts. I am a healer in a sense where I can tap into people's pain, and I do have psychic and medium abilities that I use for myself, but I am a teacher. I teach people how to do all of this themselves because, in fact, you do have all those gifts, right? But you have very specific ones that are for you. So beach bum. Ooh, I love, look at all, a seer. Karen, stage 4 cancer. Yes, I've been working with a lot of people with cancer. You have been putting your light out for too long, Queen. I would say get the keys and tap into the emotional trauma. Was there physical abuse in your life? It was generational, no. There's physical or emotional abuse in your life. I know that. Stems. And then you guys test for parasites, right? So what happens is when you have an emotional or physical trauma, it creates this energy in your body. I do have a sister. Okay. All right. Awesome, Marianne. I was like, you still have another key because we're still working on you. Okay. So you absorbed something from your sister. Does she need to know more? Yes. You need to know the energy. Front page, back page. I'll just do this one for you. Yay, Ohio. Oh, it's 1:30 a.m. Yeah, get some sleep. 64. A love unreceived is what you absorbed from your sister that you can clear, Marianne. Of course. Does she have more keys? You do have more keys, but if you want to test them, you totally can. Okay, beach bum, absorbed energy. Does she need to know more? Yes. Perfect. Beach bum, physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Okay, I'm going to start over with beach bum. Okay, beach bum, you here, Queen? My name is Heather, yes. Show me the first key we need for beach bum. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. From mom, from dad, from brother, from sister. Beach bum, do you have a sister? Front page, back page. Okay. Do you have someone in your life that was more like a sister than a friend? Someone really close to you that was female? At age 27? Do you have a friend at age 27? And you guys, I'm just intuitively asking yes or no. So I'm not doing psychic or medium or like getting downloads. I'm asking yes to this key. Yes, do we need to know more? I'm so sorry. Beach bum, are you here? Front page, back page. Let's know what the emotion is. 50 through 60, 61, 62, 63. Worthless. So from this female friend or something, worthless is what I got. The feeling of worthless. So how do you guys clear? The fastest way to clear anything is unconditional love, breathing unconditional love into the pain, and then seeing the pain leave your body. And when I clear pain, you guys, especially if it's generational, I command it to be cleared in all timelines, in all... My brain just went totally blank. I command it to be cleared in all timelines, dimensions, and space. Okay, they are being filtered. A backstabbing boyfriend. Was it from him? It wasn't from him. It was from a female. Was it a coworker? Did you have a female coworker? It was just a female, yeah. Was it her best friend? Someone at age 27. Yes. Yeah, my migraines, Leah, were actually demonic entities attacking me. Legions. For the first time in 12 years. Okay. Yep, so that's who you took it from. So just command this feeling of worthlessness to leave your body. It's not yours. I command this to leave my body, and pay attention to the pain that shows up as you clear that, and that's where that emotion is anchored into your body, right? The body keeps the score. Ooh, I got super dizzy today. Random. It's not random, right? You can ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed? I can test for peacemaker. So you absorbed a lot of energy is what you're feeling. Yeah, I've actually never read The Body Keeps the Score, but I know exactly what it is. It's just teaching you that your body will literally hold on to everything. Especially with the way I teach it, is if you've ever had emotional trauma, sexual trauma, physical trauma, religious or spiritual trauma, anywhere from the ages of 0 to 25, your body, your brain did not have the mental capacity to tell the truth about that experience. When I was 3 being physically abused, I didn't know at 3 years old the truth. So I had to go back to my 3-year-old self and tell her the truth. Yes, I command this worthless feeling to leave my body. It was not your energy. So you absorbed the energy of worthless. It wasn't yours, but you claimed it as yours like a little sponge, and now your body's in pain saying, this isn't mine, let's get it out. Was it earth related? Yeah, everything is really intense right now, energetically for sure. Okay, Beach Mom, does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So I'm not sure what the left earlobe numb is. It could be anything, right? It could be physical. It could be spiritual, emotional, generational, past life, absorbed. That's why you need to get my free guide and test. So Peacekeeper, yeah, it was so sudden. You could know exactly what it was. So Peacekeeper, what I would do is get my free guide, learn how I teach you to do the yes or no, or if you want to learn the fast way like I do, my $27 guide, ask that energy that I felt. Was it physical? Was it emotional? Was it generational? Was it past life? Was it spiritual? Was it absorbed? Yeah, Jasmine, when it comes to the cancer, right? We want to get to the root cause. It could be multiple keys, but your body will tell you with a 99.9% accuracy. I will say, though, that with every single person I have helped with stage 4 cancer, there has been sexual trauma or physical trauma. That was unprocessed. It's not always what that is, but everyone that I've worked on lately, and it's just so sad. It breaks my heart. If you're dealing with a narc, it's because there's something in you that feels like you deserve that, right? You're just frequency, attached to the right frequency. So Jasmine, you want to start with which key first, and then you clear the keys, integrate, clear the keys, integrate. Yeah, Marianne, you do need these multiple times a day. You guys, I literally test every day, multiple times. Anytime I get a ting in my neck or my ear. Yeah, Beach Bum, you ready? So she has another key. Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Absorbed again. Does she need to know more? Yes. This one's from your dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. The emotion, front page. 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 60, 61, 62. Worry. So you absorbed worry from your dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. Age 7. So age 7 is when you absorbed this worry from your dad. So clear that from your body. All timelines, dimension, and space. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again. Ooh, how many absorbed energies does she have? More than 5? More than 5. No. 3. 2. Okay. We're just making sure. Does she have another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. Okay. Does she need to know the emotion? Oh, Beach Bum. So we tested yes for Beach Bum. Right? That emotion that was trapped when she was a little girl, and she said, my heart broke just now with my dad. It's true. Yay, Sherry, you got the free guide. Yeah, so our body, you guys, knows exactly what to do. And so you've been lied to. You've been told to silence your truth because they knew if you silenced your truth, if you silenced your truth long enough, that you would become sick. And then you would need to go to the doctors and they would prescribe these painkillers. And it keeps you in the loop. You're sick, we'll give you this, which will cause other side effects, we'll give you this. And it's a sick, sick system. Yeah. So how do you break out of the system? With truth, your truth, the truth code. Yours, not mine, yours. I'm just helping you remember. I'm teaching you the keys to empower you. So Beach Bum, he always worried, which caused me to worry. Oh, yeah. But you don't have to hold that on anymore, honey. You got to let that go. Does she have another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again. Can we clear all of her absorbed energy? Can she clear all of her absorbed energies tonight? Are there more than 10? Are there more than 20, 30, 40, 50, 60? Okay. So you are an empath. We've been working with a lot of these. You're like a walking sponge, Beach Bum. You are like this yummy, juicy sponge, and you just absorb all the dump from people. So people just love you because you make them feel so good, because they can just dump on you. They can just dump and dump and dump, and they're like, oh, thank you. I just feel so good. And then they leave and you're stuck feeling like absolute garbage. And you have been doing this since you were a little girl. And so you need to command all of these absorbed energies from all timelines, all dimension, all space. I want you to command them to all leave your body now. And then I need you to set terms to your energy. And if you're an empath on here and you feel like you're doing the same thing, do this. I command that my energy, thank you, Natasha. I command that my energy is now sealed. I don't take any more energy. Nope, it's not mine. I seal and protect my energy. Yep. My energy is sealed. Now, does that mean that it's sealed and protected forever? I wish. I still take on absorbed energy once in a while, okay? But when I do, I now have the keys. So my chest is a little tight right now. I'm going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life absorbed? It's absorbed. I already knew that because that's how when I do sessions, I feel energy. So it's chest. It's not mine. I send it back to sender. It's not mine. I send this back to sender. It's not mine. Here we go. All timelines, dimension, and space. Sherry, I might have to wean myself from helping others and soaking up their energies. It's not necessarily about helping others. It's learning how to protect yourself from people who take advantage of your energy. There are vampire suckers who personally seek out people, right? That maybe they seem as weak or they're just so nice and they just dump, right? I was a hairdresser for years. I know what it feels like to have people just dump. Okay. I'm also very spiritually gifted, and a lot of you guys are. You're empaths, right? Your trauma, your trials trained you how to be an empath, right? How to recognize energy, which is a gift that came through trauma. But you have to learn to set terms and boundaries. So when I am in a session helping a client, I allow them to mirror energy so I can feel what they're feeling, so I can tap in. Oh, are you feeling chest pain right here? Oh, are you feeling neck pain right here? Yeah, okay, I feel that. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. I'm so sorry. Let's clear that, okay? And then I send that pain back to sender. It wasn't mine. Does that make sense? Good job, Beach Bum. Just took a deep breath and feels like releasing. So let that all out. You can even let it out in sounds. Ah! Yes, get out of my body. And then fill that space with unconditional love. Just keep clearing. So let's ask if Beach Bum needs another key. Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again. My goodness, Queen. Absorbed again. Does she need to know more with this one? Yes. So this is what I want you to do, Beach Bum. In the moment, how do you just command? I command my energy. I command my body first to release all absorbed energy that's not mine. Pay attention to where the pain shows up in your body. Okay, that's where it was anchored into your body. So the second you say that, your body is going to like feel pain, like a shoulder or the neck or the chest. That's where it's anchored. And you just say, I command all of these absorbed energies to leave my body, and then just breathe them out. And then you just say, I protect my energy. Like my energy is protected. All timelines, dimension, and space. So beach bum, I want you to just tap your chest. We're going to clear all these absorbed. This is a fast way to clear. And you're just going to take 3 deep breaths in and out, and just then I command all of absorbed energies that are not mine to leave my body in all timelines, in all dimensions, in all space. And then I fill my body with unconditional love. I feel like this is an ex-husband. He passed also, but did a lot to my mentally. Is this absorbed energy from her ex-husband? Yes. Okay. Does she need to know more? Nope. Hey, Miss Me. Yeah, I'm just doing, we have our last one, but follow me. Make sure you follow me because I do go live every day, Queen, and we will be able to get you one of these days. But even better, I want you to get the free guide so that you never, ever, ever in your entire life have to get answers from anybody else but yourself. I can clear it 100%. Does Marianne need another key? Nope. Good job. So as soon as I get, do I need another key, and I get a no, that means my body is done for today. That I've reached my max capacity for integration. This is so important, you guys, because we don't want to put ourselves into a healing crisis, right? That is distortion. We don't want to push our bodies past capacity. So I always trust that my body, yay, Marianne. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what time I'm going to go live. I won't be going live on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but the day after, I'll be on at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Oh, a healing crisis is like, you know how when people do detoxes or like parasite cleanses, they get this massive purge and it almost shuts the body down like you're laying in bed. So you can do that through clearing trauma too. So if you clear too much or open up too many wounds at one time, you can go through like a healing crisis or even psychosis. So that's why you have to be very careful too when you're working with people, because they might, or like therapists, right? I've worked with people who've had therapists open up too many trauma wounds, right? And they have all these flashbacks of traumas, and it almost puts them into a psychosis. So that's what I mean. You have to be very careful with the body. That's why I love the 7 keys, because you're not bypassing intuitively what your body knows it needs to clear first. And that's why when I tell people, start creating safety in your body, start learning these intuitive keys so that your body can say, hey, I know that you can't remember anything from 7 early on, but let's start clearing these things that we can process. You can start trusting yourself. And then when the body's ready, right, it's going to bring those things up. Yeah, Rosa. I've had this from years of talk therapy. Yeah, I do not, I will say this. The system has been created to keep people stuck and sick to profit off of them. If people knew that they could heal themselves in the matter of weeks or months, if you're dealing with serious chronic conditions, maybe it could take 6 months to a year because your body needs time to heal. But that is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my entire life. Because I have worked with people who have experienced horrific child abuse, trafficking since they were 2, sold into traffic. Okay? It took us 3 months to get her to a solid, confident, healed place. 3 months. Okay? Is that going to be the same for everyone? I don't know, but I do know that when you can get to the root cause in literal seconds, and then your body knows how to clear, and then you replace that with unconditional love, and we stop putting people as victims. Yeah, no money to be made from healthy, strong, fit people. But you guys, this technique that I do is you're not spiritually bypassing the message. You get the message, you learn it, you grow from it. the emotional traumas that happened as a child, you have the answers. You just tell that little girl what she needed to hear, that she didn't have the capacity to hear when she was 3 or 4 or 5. Okay? So these keys work. I love these keys. That's why I teach them for free, because they have changed my life and they have changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives for free. Nope, those are them. Oh, yeah, I got that was no beach bum. So that was max capacity for you. So what does that mean? You guys will clear, go down to a 0. You'll feel really good. Then tomorrow you'll wake up and you're like, oh, I have another pain. Okay, your body's just going to start clearing, right? You're listening now to your body. So it's just going to start cleaning out the cupboard. It's going to get a little messy, but eventually it's going to get nice and clear where you're in a place where, like, I test daily, right? So I don't get sick. I don't have anxiety. I don't have depression. I still have hard days. I'm still married. I still have kids, but I have the keys to unlock truth quicker. Good job, Beach Bum. So you guys, thank you so much. This has been an amazing night. I'm going to wish you guys all a Merry Christmas, and we will see you tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, but then, yeah, have an awesome, amazing night. You're so welcome. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.